Yes, good afternoon and welcome to this official Oxford Speedway stream as we bring you action from the third tier of British racing as the Real Mini Company Oxford Chargers, powered by SD Timo Car Sales, are going to entertain the Middlesbrough Heat Floor Tigers here at the Oxford Stadium today in the WSRA National Development League. It's great to see these two famous names, famous clubs back on track after many years away from the sport, as they now look to encourage, support and nurture some of the hottest young talent that we've got coming through the ranks here in Britain. The National League development this year is made up of 6 teams, with Leicester, Bellevue, Edinburgh and a combined Scunthorpe and Sheffield side. They're joined by today's two sides, Oxford and Middlesbrough, in a home and away league format, which is a straight shootout this year for the title. There's no playoffs to determine the winner at the end of the season. It's finish top and win the league. Bit old school Speedway for you there. You win the league, come top, it's all yours. So winning is the order of the day. There's aggregate points across the 2 home and away meetings this season, but finishing top is the driver. Reigning National League champions Oxford. They've made a perfect start to the season. They've won their 2 opening fixtures home and away against the Edinburgh Academy side, but it's been a slightly different story for the Middlesbrough side, who've had a tough start with 2 away fixtures bringing them 2 defeats against Leicester and the Scunthorpe Sheffield combined side. But when you start with 2 away meetings, always going to be difficult, and when you add in that this is their 3rd meeting, 3 away meetings to kick off your campaign is always going to be tricky. My name's Lee Kilby, I'll be your commentator today, and I'm really looking forward to being on the mic and bringing you the action here, like we say, from the 3rd tier of British racing. It is a different product, it's a different animal, but you do see terrific racing at this level of the sport. We've got a beautiful day here at Oxford. The sun's been out all day. That obviously brings its own challenges when we think about the track and the work that Jamie and his team, Jamie Courtney, promoter here at Oxford, and his team, what they've got to do to get it in a good raceable state. But I did do a track walk earlier on, and at this level of racing, again, the track preparation isn't the same as you would get for the Premiership or the Championship. It is prepared differently because you've got riders at this level with less experience, so it is about protecting them as much as offering them a surface that they can race on, where they can showcase what they're about and obviously develop and learn. So the track is good, there is grip on the track, but as you can imagine, not as much as you potentially find for a higher level of racing. So it'll be interesting to see how the boys take to the track. It's a very, very different track to that at Redcar, where Middlesbrough race the Echo Arena. Their track is potentially a bit more of a faster bowl than what we've got here at Oxford. So it'll be an interesting challenge for these young Redcar riders, Middlesbrough riders coming here today. So the 2 lineups, let's get straight into that. Great number 1 for Oxford is Luke Killeen. He's a rider that's got great experience around this track. He's obviously ridden here last year and this year. He was the 125 champion in Australia in his younger days. He rode 8 meetings at the start of last season for the Cheetahs in the Championship, and he recently guested for Sheffield up at Ipswich. So Luke making great strides in the sport, and he'll be a rider to look out for today. Interesting change at number 2 is Wayne Hutt. Now Wayne is a rider that many won't know of. He's actually the co-track curator here, Wayne. He's a lifelong fan of the club. And he actually rode on the track when it was in its old form, before the barren years before they returned. He's in today for Alex Spooner, who still hasn't returned from injury. And so this is his 2nd meeting, Wayne. He scored 1 point first time out. And again, it'd be terrific to see him essentially living out his dream here, riding for the Chargers. Number 3, Jason Garrod. He's on a 4.77 average. Again, Oxford fan as a kid. He'll be one to look out for. He scored a maximum last time out against Edinburgh, so a lot will be expected of Jason today. Jacob Clouting, a rider who's got a famous surname. His dad Savalas rode for Ipswich many years, Ipswich born. He made his debut at Kent in 2018, Jacob, so he's an accomplished rider at this level. Jody SCOTT, young 17-year-old, very excited. He won the league here last year with the Chargers. He's a rider that Peter Schroeck found when he was in his younger days, when he was mascot up at Kings Lynn. So he will be in the number 5 spot. And at reserve today, we've got Ashton VALE, youngest rider in the field today, I think, Ashton. He rode at Kent in 2023. He's got a Speedway connection. His uncle Rob Mear, he was a lakeside rider. Some of you may remember Rob riding, and he's good on the grass track, young Ashton. And another name that will ring a few bells is Senna SUMMERS. He's in at number 7. He's the son of Aaron Summers, who of course was a very accomplished rider, Aaron. So he'll be coming in at number 7. It'll be interesting to see some of these guys. Many of you won't have seen these guys racing before. And obviously Peter Schroeck is a manager. He's managing all 3 sides here at Oxford. And he's a man that knows talent. He can spot a young rider coming through, and Ashton Belgian, who's riding for the Oxford sides, he's a great example of that. Moving on to Middlesbrough Heat Floor Tigers. Now at number 1, a very interesting rider. We're looking forward to seeing Jade MUDGWAY today, co-promoter of Redcar. Jade's come in today because Jake Morford's over in Germany. He rode in a couple of open meetings over in Germany. So Jade, who's been on the bike recently a little bit, he decided he was the man to step in and take that #1 race jacket. So it'll be interesting to see how he does after a few years away from competitive racing. Ben Rathbone, he's on a 4.7 average. Yeah, he's a rider. He's been around a little while. 2019 he made his debut. He did pick up a nasty injury in 2021. But he's finding his way at this level of the sport yet again. Danny Phillips, another rider, mid to late 20s Danny. He's been around the sport at this level again for quite a few years. 2013, 2012 was when he stepped into the sport with Scunthorpe. He had a good year in 2014 where he actually won the treble with Cradley that year. Jamie Halder, he's in at number 4. He's on a 4.58 average, Jamie, and again he's another rider. 2015 is when he made his debut. He came through the British youth scene. And again, he could score points at this level. It'll be interesting to see how he does today. Probably their star man alongside Jade today will be Ben Trigger. Ben, over the last couple of years, has made real strides in the sport. Plymouth born. He's really starting to knock doors at the championship as well. He's scoring some good points. Number 6. Now I did scope the pits to find out how to pronounce Williams' Hocaniuk, to pronounce his surname correctly, and straight from his father's mouth is Hocaniuk. But a young rider in his first year of racing. He came through the British youth system as well. And at number 7 for Middlesbrough will be Kai Ward. Again, he got a call up for the Middlesbrough Tigers after a few practice sessions up at the Echo Arena where he looked really good on track, and that's what gave him the opportunity. Stuart SWALES, again the picture says it all. The SWALES family are synonymous with this club. He takes the reins for the side today. So yeah, that's how the two sides are going to line up. Like I said, very different starts to the season. There we can see a couple of the boys, Luke and Ben Trigger, out on track, having a look at the starts. I did put in a track walk earlier and had a look at the starts like the boys are doing now, and they look very even, the starts, as you would expect. No tricks today from anybody. It's just about getting a really good even surface and getting the boys a platform where they can race safely and give it a good go. So the starts look pretty even. I would imagine whoever wins the toss will take 1 and 3 for the ease. That would be my shout. You can see the two captains there, Danny Phillips and Luke Killeen, just being interviewed beforehand. It's always tough for an away side at this level of racing because they don't have the knowledge of the track. They're essentially coming into it cold. A lot of them, they won't have appeared here before. They won't have raced here before. So they'll be leaning on riders like Ben Trigger that have a few laps in here and know how the track pans out as the meeting goes on. But yeah, very warm day today. Jamie Corbyn's been getting as much water into the surface as he can, just to try and keep that dust down as the races develop. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But there's no let up in the weather. It's very warm here today. Yeah, Luke's making great strides. He like I say, started the season off last year for the Cheetahs, and he's accomplished at this level. This potentially could be his last year at this level before he steps up. There's the coin toss. Let's see which way we go. We're looking towards Luke. Didn't quite catch that over the mic, but Oxford have won the toss. We know that. Good to see where they come out for Heat 1. We're able to update. Excuse me. Yeah, how the boys are doing. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see this level of racing. I've had some experience myself at this level of racing, quite a few years, Swindon and Birmingham, a little bit Eastbourne, and it's where you find those young up-and-coming riders, those lads that it's a real mix. As you can see in some of the ages of the boys, we've got mid-teenagers out here today, Ashton VALE, Ben Trigger, young lads, Jody SCOTT, and then you've got riders like Ben Rathbone. I know Jade's a bit of an anomaly today because he's stepping in just to fill the void, really. But we do get riders of that older age group that can give experience to the rider. I remember when this was a conference league many years ago, each side essentially had to have a more experienced rider, and they acted as the captain and the experienced member to help those young riders come through. Which is it's a good initiative. It doesn't always work, but it's a good initiative, and by default, a lot of sides do have that at the moment. So the riders are just getting introduced to the crowd. There we can see Luke, very popular figure here. Wayne Hutt, he touched on Wayne, he's living his dream, which is absolutely brilliant and great to see. He did score a point in his debut here. He scored 1 point. He'll be looking to build on that and try and get himself a couple of points today. Jack at Clouting, many, there's his dad, Savile stood behind him. Many will remember him from his Ipswich days. And Senna SUMMERS. Two riders that have got family connections with the sport, as many do. I think all of us have got somebody somewhere within our families that have made us be here. I'm sure you can't get rid of it. So, riders out on track, they'll have a bit of a practice start. Have a quick look at the surface. More important, I guess, for the away riders, just to get a feel for the track, the shape of the track. They'll actually get to put in a full lap. But they'll do a couple of practice starts. Looking now, looking at where my position here in the commentary box, I look straight down on top of the tapes, and the starts do look very even. If anything, gate 2 looks a little bit harder, not so much grip as the other three gate positions. But yeah, we know that Oxford won the toss. We'll see when they come out for Heat 1 where they go and what Luke has chosen to take. So a beautiful afternoon here in Oxford. Hopefully we'll have a nice straightforward meeting, no thrills, loads of thrills, hardly any spills, that's what we want to see. Now, referee today is Matthew Ware. Matthew will work with a 2-minute time clock. He'll try and get the meeting moving nice and quickly on. A couple of minutes between each heat. Gives the riders 2 minutes to get to tapes, 2 minutes to have a bit of a garden when they get there. And within that 2 minutes, the tapes will go up and away they'll go. Yeah, Oxford coming back this year as the champions. It's a bit of a short-lived final last year against Leicester. It didn't actually get raced to completion. Oxford were deemed the winners from the victory they had in the meeting. But strong side, they've come back this season again with a strong side. We've got 2 or 3 riders there that I don't think it'll be long before we see them getting opportunities at reserve and championship level. When a rider is young, it's all about, you know, somebody like Peter Schroeck being in charge, looking after the riders, educating them on how they should be. You know, it comes pretty quickly. Ashton VALE's a great example that if you can hit the ground running and you can impress on track, you can be out and up the levels of the tiers of speedways, you know, pretty quickly. Ashton's having a good year for the Spires and the Cheetahs, and this is what these lads are all aspiring to do. Make those steps and move up that ladder as quickly as they can. He's Peter up, just having a quick chat with Jason Garrod. So as you'll probably have noticed in the first 15 minutes of the show, I am running solo today. So everyone's at home enjoying the weather today, either coming out and watching the Speedway. So it is my voice you'll hear for the entirety of this meeting. Hope you don't mind it too much. We'll keep up to speed with what's going on. Hopefully the racing will give us plenty to talk about. Hopefully it'll be a nice close contest. It's a big ask for Middlesbrough coming here today, I think. Especially having only had, so they've had no home meetings, whereas Oxford have had a home meeting. Middlesbrough have yet to have that opportunity, so they've raced a couple of circuits, been beaten twice. When we look at the scorers of their first meetings, Ben Trigger, he's had a couple of good meetings. Jake Morford, he's a loss today because he's a great rider. Drake, he's over in Germany, like we said. He's top scored in the other meeting. Jamie Halder, he's had a 10-point return at Sheffield, which was a good score for him. And then everyone's picked up by Jamie Edrington, was a rider who rode in the first meeting for them. He's not here today. They've done okay. All the riders have put some points on the board in those first 2 meetings, and they'll be looking to do the same thing. They only lost by 6 at Sheffield. That was a great effort from them in that meeting. It was 55-35 when they were away at Leicester, so a little bit more of a scoreline there that they suffered. But again, Leicester have built a strong side at this level this season. So Sheffield and Leicester, to be honest. So yeah, we just wish all the riders and all the teams at this level, you know, the best. We want to see the riders progressing. We want to see everybody doing well. We want to see people getting trackside to support this level of racing. There is a good crowd here at Oxford today. Obviously, they've got the 3 sides this season. Premiership, the Championship and the National League, but it is great to see that the Oxford promotion worked hard on packaging the season tickets up so that you could get to this level of racing and didn't have to from the board within your season tickets. A good entry fee. Chris Halder saddle there on Wayne Hutt's bike. Let's see if that brings Wayne Wayne some good luck today. There's Jade MUDGWAY. It's been a long time since he's been competitive racing on Speedway. Still, it's a bit grass track. It'll be exciting to see Jade racing today. Yeah, so the riders are coming out then. We're all almost set for heat number 1 here. This National League, WSRA National League Development Clash. Looks like Ben Rathbone is pulling into gate 1, so it looks like Luke chose gate 2 and 4. He's looking towards the back end of the meeting and getting that swing of gate positions. Middlesbrough will take gates 1 and 3 in heat number 1. So here is your lineup for heat number 1. Off the inside in yellow will be Ben Rathbone for the Middlesbrough Tigers. Next to him will be Wayne Hutt in blue for Oxford. Gate 3, Jade MUDGWAY in white, the number 1 today for the Middlesbrough Tigers. And on the outside in red will be the number 1 Luke Killeen for the Oxford Chargers. So it's 1 and 3 in heat 1 for the away side, the Middlesbrough Tigers. 2 and 4 in the opener for the home side Oxford, and both these sets of riders will want to make a good start to take that pressure off of the riders, the reserves that come out in heat number 2. But we're all set. The WSRA National League heat number 1 here, Oxford versus Middlesbrough. Start master's happy, green light is on and away we go, and it's a good start from the outside from Luke Killeen. He gets himself over the top of the 2 Middlesbrough boys. Wayne getting in a little bit of trouble coming out of turn 2 there, but as expected, probably Luke made a great start there from the outside. He's a bit of trouble coming off 4 there, but he gets the bike down. At the moment, Ben and Jay are packing into 2nd and 3rd. Wayne slipped off at the back there, so we've lost the rider in blue. But Luke Killeen looks comfortable out front. He knows his track very well. He'll just settle down now and probably barring no mechanical disasters, he'll take this heat, but just good experience for the riders there in 2nd and 3rd. Ben Rathbone and Jade MUDGWAY, they'll be happy with this, packing in 2nd and 3rd. 3-3 to start out. It's a good opportunity to get a feel for the track. Luke looks good out front, riding a nice line, nice and comfortable, relatively straightforward there for Luke. Made the gate, won the first 2 turns and brought it home. 2nd in yellow, Ben Rathbone. Jade MUDGWAY 3rd place there. So an opening heat 3-3 between Oxford and Middlesbrough. Probably not too many surprises there with Luke jumping out at the start and getting the win. And a solid 2nd for Ben. And a 3rd place for Jade MUDGWAY. So Luke Killeen comes round, takes the plaudits of a healthy crowd as I look down on top of the supporters here on the home straight. A good crowd packed in today. 3-3 first time out. I think both sides will be happy with that. Unfortunately, we lost Wayne. He slipped off coming into lap 2. So there's the confirmed scoreline. Luke Killeen with the win, 3 points for Oxford. 2nd place was Ben Rathbone for Middlesbrough. Jade MUDGWAY, he took that 3rd place, and Wayne did slip off early doors in the heat. He comes home. So it's a 3-3 opening heat. Oxford 3, Middlesbrough 3. Nothing to split between the 2 sides. We'll move on to the reserves race here. You can see the start again. Just watch Luke in red off the outside. Ben off the inside makes a good gate as well. But Luke gets over the top. He's in a nice position in that tray. Get that drive down the back straight, and essentially then he pulls away. He does get in a little bit of trouble as he comes out of 4. We might just pick it up as he comes in here. Yeah, a bit of a whippy coming off of 4 there. We caught a bit of grip, and that's where we lost Wayne at the back. Just overcooked it a little bit. Lost the power in the bike. To sit the rest of the heat out, but a 3-3. Both sides will be relatively happy with that. I think Wayne's up against it in each heat. He's very inexperienced, but he'll be hoping he can get a couple of points on the board as the meeting develops. So we move on to the reserves race. Oxford 1 and 3 this time out. On the inside in red will be Ashton VALE for Oxford. Next to him will be William Hocaniuk for Middlesbrough. Gate 3, Senna SUMMERS in blue for Oxford, and off the outside in yellow will be Kai Ward for the Middlesbrough Tigers. 3-3 as we move into this heat. Again, an opportunity for all 4 of these riders to get a feel for the track. take it nice and steady. First heat out. The Oxford boys have a bit more knowledge. Ashton and Senna have both ridden here already. There's a chance that William and Kai have been here in Junior Speedway, so they might have their knowledge over the last couple of years. Heat number 2. Takes off and away we go. So it's a good start off the inside from Ashton VALE. He's joined early on by Senna SUMMERS. Those boys should just look to work together now as they come down the back straight. Kai Ward just with a little bit of speed coming into turn 3. Looking to use that outside line a little bit. He looks like the one that's going to put the pressure on. Senna SUMMERS in second place. Senna just locking up a tiny bit. The rider's just drifting across. Turns 2 a little bit as they're coming round, but it was a good start from Ashton VALE. He's got himself out front. He looks pretty comfortable. Second place at the moment is Senna SUMMERS. Third, Kai Ward, and William Hocaniuk at the back. But again, the first hit, just a slide down there for Kai Ward. Again, it's a learning process for a lot of these riders in the first couple of races that they'll have here. And it's tough for the away riders. But the Oxford riders looking more comfortable out front now, using a nice inside line. And there's a mirror image there, unfortunate for William. He's done exactly what Kai did in the race before. But Ashton VALE has taken the win, Senna SUMMERS has taken second, and we had a couple of mirror image slide-offs there from the Middlesbrough boys. Kai will come round to take that third spot. He slid off first and then William followed suit. So a big 5-1 in heat number 2 for Oxford. It's a win for Ashton VALE, second for Senna SUMMERS. And then it was Kai that picked himself up to come round, Kai Ward, and take that third place. But like I say, I reiterate that a few times, I think as the meeting goes on, it's a learning process for a lot of these away riders when they come to a new track. So a win for Ashton VALE in red. Senna SUMMERS, he was second in the blue helmet colour. Kai Ward, he picked himself up to get that third place in yellow, and it was William Hocaniuk at the back in white. So a 5-1 for the Oxford Chargers. That makes the progressive score 8 points to 4. And again, potentially what you would have expected to see from that heat, with the home riders having a bit more experience of this track than the away riders. But hopefully they can take what they've learned on track there into the pits. They'll have a chat with the more experienced riders in the side and come back out and go again. But 5-1 for Oxford in that one, gives them an 8-4 lead at this point. And that does just give Danny Phillips and Jamie Halder here a little bit of something to do to try and bring that scoreline back in. So Middlesbrough moves to gates 1 and 3 again. Danny Phillips finds himself at the inside in the white helmet colour. Next to him in blue is Jacob Clouting. Off gate 3 in yellow is Jamie Halder, and in the red helmet colour off of gate number 4 is Jason Garrod. Jason scored a maximum last time out, so he's on good form at the minute for the home side, and they'll be looking to do that again for the Chargers today. So the riders just having a bit of a garden, looking for the best place to start from. Hopefully they'll have watched the first couple of heats intently, and they'll see what the little mistakes that the riders are making, coming in a little bit too narrow into the turn, and that gives you a bit of a tricky exit, which is why the two Middlesbrough boys there slid down in exactly the same spot. So Jason Garrod, Jacob Clouting, Danny Phillips and Jamie Halder. Heat number 3, 8-4 Oxford. Whoa, Jacob just a bit too keen to get away there. And it was Jacob in blue helmet colour off of gate 2. That was a bit keen to get away. So that gives Peter Schroeck something to think about early on. A few nerves maybe there. Jacob keen to get going. And again, for the home riders at this level of racing, you just want to calm yourself a little bit of the tapes, because you've got the advantage already, because you've got that home experience. So we can just see the start again. Just keep your eyes on Jacob Clouting on blue off of gate 2. It's a bit keen to get away. Goes. Yeah, no movement off of his inside, so just eagerness to get away in that one. So whether he will come back out and go off of 15, or whether Peter Schroeck will look to make a change. Hutt there, clerk of the course, just retrieving the tape line, the starting line from Jacob. He's still on track, so chances are he's going to be going off of 15. And again, I think that's a wise thing to do again at this level. Jacob's got good knowledge of the track, away riders might struggle a little bit in their first outing, so there's a strong chance he can make up that 15 metres. You can just see the start marshal, he's out, he's just creating that 15-metre line. And we'll look to go again. Warm day for the boys. They want as fewer restarts as possible, really. Just filling in my program as we go here. So that's Jason up at tapes. Jason Garrod, like I said, already scored a maximum last time out. Has had a couple of good performances so far for Oxford. So Danny Phillips off the inside. Jacob Clouting, he will now be off of the wide outside. He's with a bit of a shift over of riders. He will be going off of 15. So it is Jason Garrod off of gate 2. Jacob Clouting will find himself off of the outside. And Jamie Halder moves over into gate number 3. So heat number 3, 8-4. Second time of asking. Green light is on. Tapes go up and away we go. An even break from the front 3. Jason Garrod gets himself into the lead, but just keep an eye on Jamie Halder around the outside. He's having a bit of a go. We can see a bit more of pace to this heat than the last one. Jacob's gone in really hot there and has come down. Will the red lights come on? I think they possibly will. The bike is under the fence. Yep, the red lights will come on for that one. Jacob just trying to do all the work in the first heat, in the first lap, sorry, rather than just pace himself for the 4 laps. But you could already see there in that opening lap of that race that there's a bit more pace to the boys. Here we can see the rerun. Jamie Halder looked good coming down the back straight. He was carrying, but you'll just see Jacob come into shot here, carrying plenty of speed, and just loses that back end, and down he goes in. And as soon as that bike goes under the fence, very difficult sometimes to retrieve the bike when it's stuck under the fence, but thankfully he's up. Nothing more than a bit of a bruised ego on that one. And again, I can imagine, you can see his dad there, I imagine he'll just be saying to him, look, you've got 4 laps to get that back. You don't always have to knock your pan out and do it in the first lap of the race. But a learning curve for all these riders. They're all at early stages of their speedway careers, most of them. So we'll learn from that and he will go again. So we will have a 3rd running of this heat, which we'll then see Jason Garrod going it alone up against Danny Phillips and Jamie Halder, who looked good. Jamie made a good start and looked pretty quick coming around the first 2 turns and was on the pace going into turn number 3. And then unfortunately Jacob came down. But again, I imagine Peter will say that to him. Just, you know, pace yourself. At this level of racing, you will catch riders up if you ride a good line, sensible line, steady line. Away riders learning the track as they go. But thankfully he's okay. No damage done. You can see Peter Schroeck there, as any good team manager would do at this level. I imagine you might get a slightly different response to that as you move up into the Championship and the Premiership, but at this level it's all about learning. It's all about these boys getting the track time. And it's warm today, it's warm. The surface is going to be a bit dusty. It's going to be next to impossible to get the water in. We can just see Senna SUMMERS and Luke Killeen there on a quick chat. There'll be a couple of minutes. There is no damage to the fence, so I imagine the 2 minutes will be on shortly. And the riders will be out again for the 3rd time of asking, but it's amazing how much the heat will affect the riders. Be quite sapping on them. To keep going and going and going again. So hopefully we can get this one run at the 3rd time of asking, and we can get the third heat under our belts. So it is 8-4. We've had a win off of gate 4 for Luke Killeen in heat 1. We had a win off of gate 1 in heat 2 from Ashton VALE. Again, I think it's more of an even spread with at this level of racing. You won't necessarily see one dominant gate like you would at the top end of the sport. As we've seen recently, when you do get a graveyard gate at the top end of the sport, it doesn't matter who you put on that gate. It's very, very difficult to get away. Whereas I think at this level of racing, the gates don't necessarily play as much of a part with a lot of the action. And the guys can retrieve situations if they miss the gate, or if they've got a gate that doesn't have as much grip. So Jason Garrod, he will now revert back to gate number 4. So we will see Danny Phillips in white off of gate number 1. There'll be no rider off of gate number 2 with the exclusion of Jacob Clouting. Jamie Halder in yellow, he will be off of gate 3. And Jason Garrod, he made the start last time out, he will be in the red helmet colour off of gate 4. So here we go, third time of asking for heat number 3. Jason Garrod, Danny Phillips, Jamie Halder. Tapes go up and away we go. It's a good start off the inside from the two Middlesbrough boys, but a wonderful gate there. Good first 2 turns from Jason Garrod, he gets himself out front. Danny Phillips looking fast and competitive in second place at the minute, which is good. Hopefully he can keep the race interesting by keeping on the back of Jason Garrod. But again, nothing more than a 3-3 can be achieved by Jason. So he's damage limitation for him, he's looking quick. There's maybe a tiny bit of spot of grip coming off of turn 4 that a couple of the boys have hit. But Jason can ride mid-track, nice and sensible. He's under no pressure at the moment. Danny Phillips finds himself in second. Jamie Halder just pacing it out in third. Again, an opportunity for him just to learn the track. Jason, one of the better riders that these two Middlesbrough boys will come up against. Already the dust coming up a little bit, but Jason out front, really accomplished 4 laps from him, nice and in control. A good win, tiny wheelie to take it home. Danny Phillips finds himself there in second, and Jamie Halder in third. So the best that Oxford could get out of that heat was a 3-3. And that is exactly what they have done with a win for Jason Garrod. Danny Phillips looked fast, he was competitive for the first couple of laps, keeping him on his toes. But there's no stopping Jason in that one. Continues his unbeaten run. A nice wheelie for the home crowd on the home straight. It was a 12.4 ride max last time out for Jason. And he starts this one in the same vein with a 3 points. There we go, there's the confirmed scoreline. Jason Garrod in red, he was the winner. 3 points for him. Danny Phillips in second. Jamie Halder in third in yellow. And obviously there was no Jacob Clouting as the excluded rider from the second running of that heat, after he was the one that touched the tapes in the first running of the heat. So a 3-3 scoreline. Needs to continue to score 11 points to the Oxford Chargers and 7 points to the Middlesbrough Tigers. There we go, we can see it from the tapes there. It was a good start, to be honest, an even break from all 3 of them, but then Jamie just got that run around the outside. Jamie Halder just knocked it off a little bit early, and that gave Jason the opportunity to get around him. But we can see in second place there, Danny Phillips, he was on it for a couple of laps, and he was pushing Jason. And then Jason just riding a nice smooth line. You can see there, got a lovely style. Jason just rode a nice line, kept it comfortable, and took home the win to give it an 11-7 scoreline after 3 heats. So I'd imagine Middlesbrough will be relatively pleased with that at this stage, only a 4-point gap. Ben Trigger they'll see coming out in the next one. Kai Ward, who picked up that 3rd place after a slip-off in heat number 2. You can see Luke Killeen there, just a little bit of track work. I imagine just to even the surface out, even the grip out a little bit. I would think we potentially may see the Bowser come out and just put a little bit of water down. We could have this on occasion today because it is so hot, and that dust will kick up pretty quickly, because as soon as you put that water down with the heat that we've got today, it will just get soaked up. So they'll do a little bit of track work, I'd imagine, at regular occasions as the meeting goes on today. Just to give these balls as good a surface as we possibly can. You can see Peter Schroeck there in the pits with Jason Garrod after that good win for him. Pete's very much a hands-on, especially at this level. Peter is a good hands-on manager. He'll be in there. He won't go home with clean hands and clean fingernails, that's for sure. So there's the gate stats from the first few heats. A couple of winners off of 4, Jason and Luke, and Ashton VALE won off of gate number 1. Nothing off of gate number 2, no wins, no points, no nothing at this stage of the meeting. But gates 1 and 4 looking pretty good. And a few points picked up from gate number 3. As we thought, to be honest, I think the gates will be pretty even. Gate 2 looked harder and less grip when I had a little look earlier on. So they'll probably just make a few changes and look at a few bits as they come in between heats. Peter will be great for that. He'll keep an eye on what's happening with the track, passing that information over to the boys. Maybe a slight gear change. it'll be good. We'll keep the camera in the pits tonight. You can just see scrolling along the bottom of the screen there. This is our copyright of tonight's stream is owned by Oxford Speedway, so nobody out there can do anything else with it. And if you do something else with it, we will find you. Somebody will find you. You know, it's all about supporting Speedway. If you buy the link, you enjoy the link. Don't be giving the link to anybody else. It's tough going for many of these clubs, and this is a great thing that all the clubs, we've obviously got BSN, British Speedway Network. They're the mainstream streamers for online at the moment. But every club's doing it, and they're doing it because, you know, we want to bring as much income into the clubs as we possibly can. So if you're at home watching it, you enjoy your stream. If your mate comes over for a beer, we kind of get that, but don't be giving it out to 6-7 of your mates down the road, because that won't work eventually. That's my headmaster bit done. Now you can carry on enjoying your Speedway with us today. So it's 11:07 at the moment. We're just having a small break here, just while there's potentially there was a little Luke got in trouble, a tiny bit of trouble in Heat 1 coming off of turn 4, and Jason Garrod, he hit a little patch as well coming off of 4. So that's something they were just looking at there, just to smooth it out so that nobody else gets any bother. The Middlesbrough riders currently in a bit of a conflab in the pits there. We can see a bit of a team meeting early on, and I think that's, again, it's important at National League level that all the riders are sharing experience. You tend to get mechanics in the pits and management that have ridden at this level or ridden at higher level. You know, they're always going to be a good vault of knowledge as well, just passing over their experience. Because at this level, the heat sometimes isn't won or lost in the first, or points aren't won and lost and gained in the first lap. You've got 4 laps at this level to try and do something. It's not all about throwing it in. A little bit like what Jacob did. He went off for 15 metres, and by the end of lap 1, he'd already caught up the 2 riders in front of him. But if he'd just kept his head a little bit potentially, and not been so excited about getting and picking them off, he would have done it over the course of the heat. But that's Speedway, that happens. You'll learn from that. You can see Danny Phillips there just passing over a bit of knowledge on what he's just experienced on track. He looked okay, Danny. He was on the pace. He was keeping Jason Garrod honest for the 4 laps. There's Jade MUDGWAY. I think we go back to 2010, I think, when Jade was riding at Berwick. A very experienced rider, great guy, co-promoter at Redcar. New Zealander, lovely guy. It's good to see him out on track today. He did say to me before the meeting that he's turned down a couple of opportunities before today to have a ride, but he didn't want to do that today, with it being his club, Middlesbrough coming back to tapes. And I did say to him, look, did you want to do this today, or was it a case of because Jake was away, there wasn't necessarily anybody in inverted brackets better to come in? And he said it was a little bit of both. He wanted to take the opportunity to have a ride and just saw it as a nice track to come to. He's a grass tracker as well, Jade, so a nice smooth track isn't necessarily his type of track. He'd probably like it a bit bumpy and a bit more grass track like, but yeah, he was happy to come out and represent Middlesbrough today, and it's nice to see him on track. It's good to see him earlier on, nice to see him on track for the afternoon. So the water barrels is just going round now as expected, just to put a bit of water down. Like I've said on a couple of occasions, it's obvious to see from the screen, it's a warm one today. So I imagine Jamie Courtney will do this a few times, especially around the corners, the bends here, not so necessarily down the straight. But he will keep putting some water down on the turns, just to try and keep that shale down. But I anticipate it will get a bit dusty, because that's just the nature of today. Senna SUMMERS helmet on there, just having a chat with Luke Killeen. Many of you probably would have seen on Eurosport last week, was it? Start of this week, he guested for Sheffield against Ipswich. Came away from it pointless in terms of on the track points, but I would imagine it was a great experience being in the pits with the likes of Jack Halder, Ty Woffindham, and on the opposite side obviously Jason Doyle and Emil Saifutinov. Can't put a price on the experience, and you've just got to take what you can from those type of meetings, watching what everybody else is doing, understanding that you're potentially not going to get any points on the board, but taking as much away from it as you possibly can. So one last lap for the Bowser, I think. They're just doing a bit of tape work as well, just trying to fix that broken tapes. There's Ashton VALE there. The number 6 for Oxford, young guy. Already getting a lot of acclaim and positives about his performances. Another rider we would have seen racing at young GB level as well. He was at Kent 2023. Yeah, Rob Meir, he's a guy that he's a rider that many will remember at Lakeside. I remember Rob at Lakeside. He's a reserve at that level, but did very well, Rob, and he's obviously passed on the love of the sport within the family down to his nephew. So we can see some action across there now. There's some bikes coming out onto track. You can hear the 2 minutes from the referee. Matthew Weir's our referee today. He's put that 2 minutes on, and we're going to see Jody SCOTT, Senna SUMMERS, Ben Trigger and Kai Ward. There's the 2 minutes counting down, 1 minute 42, 1 minute 41, so they've got that 2 minutes to get around and be ready to race. If they're not ready to go, then they will find themselves excluded from the heat. So Kai Ward, he'll hopefully have learned from his first outing. He can bring a bit more to track. He slid off, coming off of turn 4. Jody SCOTT finds himself up at tapes. He's going to go for gate 4 in this one. Jody, we have had a couple of winners off of 4. A couple of his teammates have popped out the start and got across, but he's got a battle to do that in this heat because he's up against Ben Trigger. He will be in white. So here's the lineup for you. Kai Ward scored that 1 point first time out off the inside in yellow. Senna SUMMERS, good second place for him first time out. He'll be in the blue helmet colour. Ben Trigger, one of the younger but more experienced riders in the field. He will be in white off of gate number 3. And Jody SCOTT, red helmet colour for Oxford. He will be off of gate number 4. So 11.7, bit of track work's been done. Bit of evening out of the shale. Bit of water's gone down. Let's see how these 4 boys take to the track. We've got Ben Trigger and Jody SCOTT coming out for the first time. And we've got Senna SUMMERS and Kai Ward making their second appearances of the afternoon. Start marshal just getting them into place. 10 seconds left on the countdown clock. Guys are at tapes. Jody SCOTT, the last one to get himself into position. Start marshal looks good to go. Riders are up. Green light is on. Away we go for heat number 4. It's a great start from the Middlesbrough pairing. Ben Trigger rides a lovely first 2 turns there to move across track into the line of Jody SCOTT, so we could have a battle out front. Ben Trigger finds himself, Jody SCOTT second. Third place at the minute, it would be a good third place for Kai Ward. Senna SUMMERS at the back, but let's watch this battle out front. Ben just locks up a tiny bit and a lovely line round the outside from Jody SCOTT. Well done, Jody SCOTT, really nice line. Ben just locked up a tiny bit and that gave the run around. But the red lights have come on. It's because the start marshal pole has been left out. We've seen this before. Saw it on Eurosport, I think from Leicester, which caught Michael Palmtoft out earlier in the season, and the same thing has happened. And that's going to be frustrating for all the boys there because they put in 2 or 3 laps. Yeah, frustrating. It sits where the position that I've got, it sits right on top of the white line, so you can't actually see it. It does not under the naked eye, it's quite tricky to see, but as soon as the red lights came on then, I knew it was nothing out of the norm because all 4 riders were still up. The fence was still in one piece. So yeah, unfortunately, you can see that starting post. It was a good start from the Middlesbrough boys first time out. Ben just gave Jody SCOTT a little nudge there. And he got himself out front. Jody rode a nice line around the outside. Just keep your eyes as they come. Many of you probably spotted it anyway. As the boys come down the home straight here, there it is, still in the track. A little bit frustrating, yeah, that's me, that's my viewpoint. Normally got somebody with me, I've got nobody with me today, look, all on my own. Normally got Roy Schlein or Alan Rossiter or somebody up here, not today. So, it looks like we'll have to go again on that heat, which is frustrating for those 4 riders, especially for Jody SCOTT, who worked hard to get himself up into the lead around the outside of Ben Trigger. But again, it could be a little bit of a learning curve there for Ben because he just locked up a tiny bit around turn 2, and that is what gave Jody the run around the outside. So hopefully he'll look at that from a personal viewpoint, but from an Oxford viewpoint, a great line from Jody SCOTT. And it gives Senna SUMMERS another go at Kai Ward. He got himself into a comfortable looking third place there. And again, a third place for Kai in this heat would be a great return for either of the two reserves. That is what they'll be gunning for, is that third place and that 1 point to A. Try and even the heat up or give your team a heat advantage. So it looks like we're not going to be using the white pole. The white pole is now on the inside of the centre green. Maybe we won't be using that pole again. But the riders come round. We've got a rerun. Nobody's fault. Well, it was somebody's fault when none of the riders on track. Our start marshal, he gets a warning for that one. So it'll be Kai Ward off the inside in yellow. It's next to him Senna SUMMERS in blue. Ben Trigger in white made a good start first time out. Gate 3 for Middlesbrough in white hammer colour, and Jody SCOTT in red, who did hard work to get himself up to the front. He will be in the red hammer off of gate 4. So they go again. The real losers in that one were probably Jody SCOTT and Kai Ward. Kai got a nice third place there. It gives Senna another opportunity in that little battle. Heat 4 does tend at every level of the sport can just turn into two battles. Battle of the heat leaders and the battle of the two reserves. Win your own little battle. So here we go. There's no post out this time, so we won't get a delay again. That's a mirror image to before. Both Middlesbrough boys have made the gate. Oh, down has gone Jody SCOTT. Definitely a case of first Ben bunching. Ben Trigger and Jody SCOTT both got into the same part of that first turn at the same time. Nobody to blame for that. They both made very good gates. Ben Trigger just held his line. It wasn't particularly wide. Jody just, unfortunately for him, wrong space, wrong time. Here we go, we can see it again. They both made a good gate. Yeah, Jody's just leaning on Ben. Ben's not giving him anything. And that is just a case of first Ben bunching. The Oxford fans can boo all they like, but that is just one of those things. I'll expect to see all four back in this one. Somebody needs to calm Jody down there. He doesn't need to be excited about that. That's going to happen 101 times in his Speedway career. There's nothing that says that Ben has got to slow down there. There's nothing that says that Ben has got to ease off. He made the gate as well as Jody, so Jody just needs to calm down, get his head together, and go again. I think anybody excluded from that can feel pretty disappointed. Although I'm seeing the red light on, which really does surprise me. I'm looking down, I can see a red light on, which means Jody SCOTT. Now I can see why he's excited. Now I can see why he's excited. That to me is not an exclusion. That was a case of first bend bunching. They were in the first bend. First bend lasts up to the apex, I always say. Anything past the apex of 1 and 2, then there's a decision to be made. Now I can see why Jody SCOTT is very disappointed with that. I thought at the minute the start of his frustration was towards Ben Trigger, but it wasn't. It was by the fact that the red light had come on and he's found himself excluded, which is a crazy call. I always think if a referee's got a bit of a get out clause to put all four back, you do that. We want to see 4 riders unless it's a clear exclusion. Anyway, that's what the referee's decided. We've got 55 seconds till tapes up. We've got Kai Ward off the inside in yellow for the 3rd time of asking. Next to him, Senna SUMMERS in blue. He's running solo now. Ben Trigger in white off of gate 3, and the very unlucky Jody SCOTT, he finds himself excluded from this one, so nobody off of gate 4. So big ask now for Senna SUMMERS, because in the first 2 run-ins of this heat, Kai Ward and Ben Trigger have made the start. So let's see if Senna SUMMERS can get himself out of the trap and in amongst it into the first turn. He's made a decent gate, but no, both Middlesbrough boys are quicker out the start there. Ben Trigger around the outside in white, Kai Ward in yellow. Now it's up for see what Senna SUMMERS can do. He just needs to keep his head together. Anything can happen over the 4 laps. Just ride a nice sensible race. See if he can keep tabs on Kai Ward for that 2nd spot. Ben Trigger, I would imagine and anticipate, will just ride nice and sensibly, comfortably, and pull away for the 3 points. The battle is going to be whether Senna can get himself up on Kai Ward into that 2nd place spot. At the moment, he's not falling away, but he's not gaining either. Kai's riding a very sensible line, mid-track, nothing crazy. He's just got his back wheel on what dirt line there is building up there. But Senna's not dropping away. If Kai makes a mistake, Senna's in a good position to potentially take advantage, but time's running out. Sensible ride from Ben Trigger out front. A good win for him. Very well done for Kai Ward in second place, and unlucky for Senna Summers. He didn't necessarily do anything wrong in that heat, but once Kai got that little gap, Senna just couldn't reel him in, and a big 5-1 there for the Middlesbrough Tigers. Win for Ben Trigger. Second place Kai Ward. Jody SCOTT excluded, unfortunately, in a third place for Senna. So 1-5, 2 3-3s, 2 5-1s in the first 4 heats. Means the progressive score is now back to 12 apiece. Get that confirmed scoreline for you. Here we go. Ben Trigger with a win. Kai Ward second. Senna Summers in third. And excluded Jody SCOTT. No, failed to score, obviously. So 5-1 to the Middlesbrough Tigers. Brings the scores level after 4 heats to 12 points apiece. I think we find ourselves a bit lucky in that one. Oxford. Senna definitely gets out the start at the same time as the Middlesbrough boys, but then the draw up to the first turn sees them. There you go, just pull away. Ben, yeah, I think we expected Ben to pull away and win that one. It was just whether Senna could land a blow on Kai Ward. Kai rode very, very well and sensibly. Didn't push too hard and managed to hold on to that second place. Senna, as try as he might, couldn't bridge that gap. So we're going to move on to heat number 5. 12 points apiece. Nice even meeting as we stand at the moment. Jason Garrod, he's going to find himself winner first time out. He's going to find himself off the inside. In this one, he won his last race from gate number 4. Taking Clouting, who unfortunately touched the tapes, and then was the cause of the stoppage. He gets his first full heat here, hopefully for him. Here we go. Jason Garrod off the inside in red. Ben Rathbone, yellow. He's off gate number 2. 2 points first time out from Ben. Jacob failed to score, failed to complete the heat first time out in blue, and Jade MUDGWAY 1+1 for him. Excuse me, he's off the outside in the white helmet colour. So 12-12. Scoreline as we go into this. Jason winner first time out. Jade MUDGWAY, Ben Rathbone, they picked up a second and third in heat 1. And Wayne Hutt failed to finish the heat. They'll be looking to do the same thing again there. Jason Garrod would be your favourite to win this heat, I would imagine. It's what Jacob could do, and what the Middlesbrough boys could do. So heat 5, 12 points apiece. Start marshal walks away. Green light on, tapes up. Good start off the inside from Jason Garrod, and a good start from gate 4 from Jade MUDGWAY. He gets himself into second. Almost kisses the back wheel there of Jason Garrod, but manages to control it. Jason Garrod out front. Jade MUDGWAY second. Jacob Clouting third. Ben Rathbone at the back. Let's see if this heat will stay nice and close. Is what Jacob, can he land a blow on Jade MUDGWAY in second place? And can Ben Rathbone, he land a blow? Jacob just pushing Jade MUDGWAY there in second place. He's looking around the outside, we could get a bit of a race on here. He's putting it out wider. Jason Garrod's out front, he looks comfortable. The battle here is second, third and potentially fourth if Ben Rathbone can get a good run into turns 3 and 4. Oh, Jade's packed up. That's a shame for the Middlesbrough Tigers. Jacob, gift of a second place there for him. Jade's bike is packed up. It's all strung out. Unfortunately, that was a really good heat up till that point. A win for Jason Garrod. Jacob Clouting will happily take that second place gift. He was going to push Jade for the 4 laps. I heard the bike pop as he went underneath the commentary booth here. And it's a third place for yellow and black. Ben Rathbone. That was developing into a good heat there until that engine failure. Nice wheelie down the back straight. Another win for Jason Garrod. Looks good when he gets out front, Jason Garrod. Nice and smooth in control. Looks an accomplished rider. Jacob Clouting will happily take that gift of a second place. There we go. Jason won in red. Jacob Clouting's second for Oxford. They're 5-1 for them. Ben Rathbone, he took the third place. Jade MUDGWAY, very unfortunate. He was running a good, comfortable second. He did have a race on with Jacob Clouting there, I think, but he looked good in second place. Unfortunately, he drops to the back. So it's a 5-1 reverse. Takes Oxford back to 17, Middlesbrough to 13. A 5-point gap again. A 4-point gap again, sorry. There you go, you can see it from the tapes. Jade off a 4, Jason off a 1. They were the 2 that made the gate. Just watch here, Jade powering plenty of speed. Oh, it was really close there to the back wheel. Good throttle control not to make any contact with Jason Garrod. And from here, Jason pulled away, but it really developed into a battle for second, third, and potentially fourth, because Ben didn't drop away at the back. Yeah, really unique style of Jade MUDGWAY. Any slightly older supporters that saw Jade first time out will recognise that style. You can see Jacob was carrying plenty of speed. He was really pushing him, and I think it would have pushed him for the full 4 laps. That would have been a good conclusion to that heat, but unfortunately that was taken away from us when Jade. I heard something pop as he went underneath us. You can see going into the apex of 3 and 4. There's the go. There's the bike go. Thankfully, Jacob was quick enough to react and avoid making any contact with Jade. But yeah, that was a shame, because that was turned into a good heat there. Then we've just got some gate stats. We've got a couple of points off of gate 2 now, but no winners as yet. 2 off of the inside, 2 off of the outside, and 1 off of gate 3. The inside 1 and 3 is developing into the better 2 gates, as I think it does tend to do here at Oxford. So a bit of water going down. Here's the point scorers as we speak. The heat leaders of 1 and 3 for Oxford. Luke Killeen there with a win first time out. We'll see him again shortly. And Jason, 2 really good wins for him. He's made 1 from the tapes, and he had to come around the outside in the other one, and a solid 3 points from Ashton VALE. But Senna there picking up points from number 7 for reserve as well. And for the Middlesbrough Tigers, again, they're doing well at the moment. Ben Trigger with the win first time out. He looked good. And again, you've got to look at Kai Ward picking up points at reserve is always important if you've got a rider that can get those 3rd places and pop a 2nd in every now and then. But I think Middlesbrough will be quite happy with this at this moment in time, and Oxford will comfortably take a 4-point advantage at this stage. But we've had a couple of spills. There's Ben Trigger. So they're just doing a bit of track work at the minute. We can see some action going on in the pits there. So, excuse me, we'll bring a video up for you now. You can have a little look at, excuse me, bit of a tickle to the throat. Here we go.
13. Off the inside in red is Luke Killeen. Next to him in white on gate 2 is Connor Coles. On gate 3 in blue is Jody SCOTT. And off the outside in yellow is Max Perry. So, with Connor Coles in between them, he's a hard charger, and he'll probably getting his elbows out in that first bend.
Yeah, and he's off gate 2 as well, so he'll be quite confident there. But start Marshall calling him up there for him to get themselves ready, get in the position, and wait for that green light to go. Oh, good gate there off for Jody. Oh, a bit tight on there though.
So Jody got over red. Got there, and he's just let the bike drift around a turn. He's got a lovely line there.
Max on the outside there.
Connor's not really helped him. He's sort of didn't leave enough room, but here goes Max trying to come around the outside to apply pressure to Jody. Oh, bit of drive there.
Oh, Luke, Max, good corner for turn 3 and 4 for Luke though up the inside. He knows his race circuit where the lines, but Max is keeping him honest.
So yeah, good race there by Luke. He obviously saw the boys battling it with each other and came up the inside. So both looking for each other to team right now, which is good.
Yeah, just seeing Luke there nodding his head to his teammate there to say, yeah, just keep going with you on. Our team ride you home.
But no, it's good to see this. You don't see it too much in National League, so to watch these 2 boys team ride shows that they know what they're doing. But Max is putting on the pressure. I think Luke's just getting in a bit of trouble there.
Yeah, I think obviously Jody's a little bit slower than what Luke would want to be going, but he's using his experience from the championship with you guys, and he's rode his teammate home there well. There it was hard work for him, but it's nice to see him using his experience and helping his teammate younger ones out.
And yeah, no, a good 5-1 there, and Jody will be happy with that. Kept his unbeaten record.
He did, but Max kept the pressure on, which wouldn't have helped the guys up in front, but it was a great 5-1 there, and yeah, that puts the meat into the bed for Oxford.
Here's the result of Heat 13. Your winner in blue was Jody SCOTT. In 2nd in red was Luke Killeen. 3rd in yellow was Max Perry, and in white was Connor Cole. So yeah, another good 5-1 for the Oxford Chargers.
Yeah, good heat that one. That meeting ended 51 to Oxford and 36 to Edinburgh. But good to see some team riding at this level. And that was a really good close heat. Connor Coles and Max Perry are good riders at this level as well. Max, the 2 riders at different stages of their career. Connor's been around a little while now. Max coming into it. So yeah, some good speedway there. Nice to get a little throwback on that heat. We find ourselves on 17-13 here after 5 heats. We're going to see Luke Killeen here for the second time. See Ben Trigger for the second time. A couple of good riders coming out in this one. So off the inside in white is Ben Trigger, winner, first time out. Luke Killeen, he'll be in red off of gate 2. Again, winner, first time out. William Hocaniuk, he's going to be in yellow off of gate number 3. And Wayne Hutt failed to finish first time. Either of those boys fails to finish first time out. Wayne will be in the blue helmet colour off of gate number 4. So again, potentially we've got 2 heats going on here. We've got the inside, Ben Trigger and Luke Killeen, 2 winners first time out. And then we've got William Hocaniuk and we've got Wayne Hutt going from gates 3 and 4. It could quite quickly develop into 2 separate battles here. But the 2 riders on the inside, both riding at championship level. Both have got the ability to win races at championship level already. Reserve element of the sport. Let's see what they can produce here as heat leaders in the National League. So we're 17-13, 4-point gap at the minute for the Oxford Chargers. Here we go for heat number 6. Tapes go up and away we go, and as expected off the inside, Ben Trigger and Luke Killeen have made the gate. Luke just looking to cut back up the inside of Ben. Can he keep the speed down the outside? Nah, Luke drives into that turn. Whoa, Ben, really uncomfortable fall there for Ben. Really uncomfortable. The red lights are definitely going to come on. Nobody to blame for that. Just 2 boys going into that wholeheartedly. Red lights on, please, referee. There we go. Because Ben is still down in an uncomfortable heap on turn 4. Again, I don't think anyone's to blame necessarily for that. The referee's got to make a call, but it was just 2 riders going for that same piece of track, both driving hard down the back straight, both looking to attack the turn in the same position, and ultimately something had to give, and unfortunately for Ben, he came down in an untidy looking spill as he went into the air fence there. We hope he's okay. Paramedics are with him as we speak. His mechanics have gotten over, got the bike up. You can see Jamie Courtney, promoter here, going over to see if he's okay. Unfortunate looking incident. Just looking down, I can't actually see if there's a decision been made by the referee. I don't think Luke necessarily did anything wrong. Under the naked eye, I didn't see any contact, but you know, once we know that Ben is okay, we might catch ourselves a replay. That's the most important thing. We can see the bike there just getting pushed back. Might be a little bit damaged, but the fact it's still wheeling and running, moving okay. Damage to the forks. Yeah, so we just hope that Ben's okay after that one. Unfortunate looking incident. And again, hopefully we potentially see the replay again as long as Ben's okay. Luke maybe just moved him over a little bit and just stopped his run. The one thing that Middlesbrough don't need today is no Ben Trigger in the lineup, because we've already seen that Ben's going to be in amongst the top scorers for them and potentially the top scorers for the meeting, so they won't want to lose him. So hopefully he is okay. That's the most important thing. Not one to give an inch either, Ben. Just see Peter Schroeck there, coming up to see what's going on. So we are getting some spills. We hope we wouldn't get too many, but we had a few reruns in the first 5 or 6 heats of this one. This one's going to be the case again. Had no notification yet from the referee as to who's the cause of the stoppage, but it will either be Luke or Ben. There's the 2 riders involved in that incident. I anticipate it'll probably be Ben, but I didn't necessarily think that Jody SCOTT was going to get excluded, so what do I know? Ah, there we go, smile on his face, he's up. Round of applause from the crowd, thank you, that's good to see. Good to see him walking back. Worse for wear. So here we go. You can see the incident again from the tape. We'll watch the full lap that we had of that one. And as we anticipated, the inside boys, Luke Killeen and Ben Trigger, they made the gate and they disappeared off. There we go. And it was going to develop into 2 battles. We can see Luke just a little clever cut back there, but Ben still had some drive coming down the back straight. He was still, so Luke is in front here. Let's just keep an eye on Ben. Yeah, just Ben came in a bit hot. Unfortunately, Luke, nothing wrong there at all. Nasty looking collision with the fence when the bike follows you in like that. Really uncomfortable. But thankfully he's okay, he's walking back and he will be excluded as the cause of the stoppage. So we will see 3 riders only in the rerun of heat number 6, with the exclusion of Ben Trigger. So this will give the opportunity for Wayne Hutt to score another point for the Chargers as he rides out what many of us had the dream to ride for our hometown teams. He's living that dream, and as long as he stays upright for the 4 laps, he's going to get a minimum of a point here, which is terrific for him. As there is no Ben Trigger for gate number 1 as the cause of the stoppage. So Luke Killeen, he'll have a free run to the first turn. The battle here we go. Ben Trigger excluded off the inside in white. There'll be nobody off for gate 1. Luke Killeen in red, he'll be off gate 2. Winner first time out, William Hocaniuk, he's going to be off gate 3 in yellow, and Wayne Hutt in blue off of the outside. So one of those 2 boys are going to get a nice healthy 2 points. The other's going to pick up a solitary point. Which way will that go? That could well be the battle in this heat. I think most of us would expect Luke to just pop out the gate and disappear off into the distance. He looked good in his first outing. Here we go, the rerun of heat number 6, 3 riders only, tapes go up. Oh, Luke getting loads of pull up to that first turn. He looks good out front. William Hocaniuk, he's settled into 2nd place. Wayne Hutt in 3rd place. So those 2 boys at 2nd and 3rd just want to ride really sensibly, don't do anything silly. Get some points on the board here. This will be a couple more points. Oh, he's going in a little bit across the track there. William, a little bit like he did in his first outing where he came to grief. But if he can stay upright, he's going to pick up the 2nd place and 2 points. Luke looking fast out front, riding a nice line. Wayne has come down at the back off screen. He's going to want to get that bike going. If he gets lapped, no, he's not. Really disappointing for Wayne Hutt there. You can just see him on the centre green. He's going to be annoyed with himself there. Fell off in the same place as he did in his first outing, but Luke Killeen out front, he's going to pick up the win, barring any mechanical. 2nd place will go to William Hocaniuk here. Absolutely no race going on in that one at all. More like a practice race, but Luke nice and steady out front, 3 points for him. We're going to get a 3-2 heat result in that one. Wayne is going to be kicking himself, that's for sure, because that was a gift of 2 points there for him, but he just lost it off of screen. We didn't really see it. Another win for Luke Killeen. Looked good out front. Never in any danger of not winning that heat. So you always get that anomaly score. You can get that anomaly score where it is an uneven 3-2 in that one, with no finisher in 3rd place. So the win was for Luke Killeen. 2nd place was William Hocaniuk. And we didn't get a finisher in 3rd. It would have been Wayne. A bit disappointed for Wayne there. It would have been nice for him to pick up a point. But he got himself into a bit of bother and dropped it down and was unable. He was trying to get the bike going again. You can run and bump these bikes, getting them going again. But he just couldn't do that in time. And as soon as you get lapped, you're essentially out of the heat. So a 3-2 scoreline makes it 20 points to 15. A 5-point gap now for the Oxford Chargers here over the Middlesbrough Tigers. As we'll move into heat number 7. See Jamie Halder and rolling around then onto gate number 4. He'll be joined by Danny Phillips, gate 2. Jody SCOTT gets to go again. Here we go. Jody SCOTT will be off the inside in red. Didn't score in his first outing, but not necessarily his fault. I didn't think he was the cause of the stoppage, but he was. Danny Phillips, white helmet colour, 2 points. He'll be off of gate number 2. Ashton VALE, winner first time out, blue helmet colour. He'll be off of gate 3. And Jamie Halder, a point and a bonus so far. He'll be in yellow off of gate number 4. So heat number 7, this WSRA National Development League clash 2015 as we head into heat number 7. The Tigers just hanging on to the coattails of the Oxford Chargers as we come up to the midway point of this meeting. Jody SCOTT excluded first time out as the cause of the stoppage. A little bit unfortunate potentially. Let's see what he can produce here. He's yet to complete 4 laps. But for Danny Phillips and Jamie Halder, they both picked up points in their first outing. So heat number 7. Green light on, tapes up, away we go. Jody's made the start off the inside. Jody SCOTT. Danny Phillips has gone with him in gate number 2. Ashton VALE in third at the moment. It's Jamie Halder at the back. So how will this race develop? Jody SCOTT looks good out front. Second place Danny Phillips at the moment. Ashton VALE, he's in third as we speak. And Jamie Halder putting him under a bit of pressure at the back. Jody pulling away, looking good out front. Boys just need to be careful going into 3 and 4. A couple of the riders going in a bit hot and losing it up to now. But at the moment we've got Jody SCOTT out front. Danny Phillips in second. The battle's going to develop for third and fourth, potentially here. Ashton VALE, he's holding it at the moment. Jamie Halder, he's putting him under a bit of pressure, looking to run round the outside here. Can he get a run on? As we go into the last lap, first and second looks pretty set. The battle is third and fourth. Ashton's rode a nice line there, through turns 1 and 2. That's probably put this race to bed for him in third place. Yeah, winner out front, Jody SCOTT, well done. Second place, Danny Phillips. A good third place there for Ashton VALE over the number 4 rider for the Middlesbrough Tigers, Jamie Halder at the back. Jamie pushed him for the 4 laps, but Ashton really put that heat to bed in third place with his first and second turn going into the last lap. But Jody SCOTT, well done, winner. First race he's been able to complete, and he gets a nice win and celebrates with the home fans as he goes down the back straight. So a 4-2 heat advantage there to the home side. Makes the progressive scores 24-17, so a little bit of a gap now for him. There we go, Jody SCOTT, he was the winner, red helmet colour. Danny Phillips in second, comfortable second for Danny. Ashton VALE did really well in third place there to hold off Jamie Halder, and that was a solid third place for him, making it 4-2 in that heat, meaning 24-17 is the progressive score. Jody SCOTT will be really pleased with that. Ashton VALE will be very pleased with his third place. Jamie Halder just couldn't get up to challenge Ashton VALE in that third place. Here we go, from the tapes. Keep an eye on Jody SCOTT, makes a good start off of 1 and gets a nice line into that first turn. Danny Phillips goes with him, and just at that point it looked like Ashton might be able to get a little bit of a cutback on him, but Danny pulls away, and then from there on the front 2 were away. Jody rode a nice line, wasn't in any bother at any point. Danny was comfortable in second. The battle really was at the back there, but like I say, it was a nice, you sometimes see the riders going across turn 2 where they go from the inside to the outside and you lose all forward traction. Ashton didn't do that on the last lap, and that's what gave him that heat. So there's some gate stats for us. We've now got some points and a winner off of gate 2, but gates 1 and 4, they're giving us most of the wins at this point and most of the points as well. No percentage, sorry, and then there's 15 points off the inside, 12 off of gate 3. But again, I think like we've said on a couple of occasions, I've said on a couple of occasions already, it's at this level, you know, the race isn't done and dusted in that first lap. It is a case of 4 laps, because you don't know anything can happen. Then experienced riders sometimes drop it, as we've seen in the heats leading up to now. And the more experienced riders, if they don't make the gate, they can come from the back. So it's not all done and dusted early on, and it's not all done and dusted from the gate. And we can see Ben Rathbone. We are going to see him out in this next heat with Kai Ward for the Middlesbrough Tigers. It's a 7-point gap now. They'll be looking to strike back at some point. I think the call in this heat is whether we're going to see Wayne. Yes, we will see Wayne Hutt. He's going to be in the red helmet colour, heat number 8, protected heat. A bit more water going down is needed just to dampen that surface. It's starting to cloud over a little bit, so the sun won't be able to do as much as it has been doing, but it's still very, very warm. Hardly any moisture in the air. Track drying out pretty quick. You can just see that glassy look there on the outside. There's some scores as we stand, and you know the standouts really. Luke Killeen, 2 wins from his 2 heats. Jason Garrod, 2 wins for his 2 heats. But then there's points across the board from everybody else. We've got a couple of exclusions in there. But I think, yeah, Jody really pleased to pick up a win last time out, and solid points from Ashton VALE and Senna SUMMERS at the moment at the bottom end. Sometimes the meetings are won at that reserve, but to be fair to the boys, yeah, Ben Trigger, winner first time out, glued in his second one for that 4. Thankfully he's okay. But 5 points from the reserve. Danny Phillips 2 second places, very solid for him. But I think Kai Ward and William Hocaniuk, you know, if anyone's dropping in front of them, as long as you stay upright and you pick up points at reserve, you're doing your job. It's third places and finishing for those boys. It's a learning process. Young guys coming into the sport. Yeah, a bit of bike work, a bit of car work going on there. And I think what we'll do is, while we've got some track work going on, let's have another trip down this season's memory lane, and we'll have a look at another heat.
Gate 1 in yellow, we've got Kyron Leyden. Off number 2 in blue, we've got Ashton VALE. Gate 3 in white, we've got Max Perry, and on gate 4 in red, we've got Jody SCOTT. So you see Jody there just tapping the rut in, just packing all that dirt in.
I think out of the 3 races we've had so far, gate 2's worked pretty well on all of them, really.
I struggled with one for some reason, and last year one seemed to be the better gate, so they've obviously changed round over the winters, changed duties.
Yeah, so here we go.
And there you go, Jody packing the dirt in, and it pops him out start lovely, and there's Ashton just tucking in behind him. Hopefully they can look over each other and
Max
team
going outside, but
Ashton just closes the door there on Max. But Max is going to try and use that bit of dirt on the outside to come round, but Ashton's riding a good line, making it as hard as he can to not let Max through. Max is coming back tight, but Ashton gets a nice bit of drive off the bend, and no, as you said, Jody looks really comfortable in front there.
He does, he's a good little style there. Looks back for his teammate every now and then. See, Ashton kind of a bit of pressure there for Max, but you know, he's holding his own there in second, looking good, not really looking in any trouble. And yeah, I think any mishaps or things and 5-1s on the cards here.
No, definitely, and I think 2 boys up front will be happy with beating Max. Obviously, being in the championship, that's where they'll be looking to want to go in the future. So, sort of getting a bit of a taste for it. And no, good win there by Jody, and obviously by some distance, he'll be happy with that. And a good second place there by Ashton, unbeaten from his first 2 rides.
My man to watch. So, young Jody SCOTT there. So yeah, that was a good ride, good start from the Oxford boys there, and didn't really get troubled much. Really, say Max tried to put a bit of pressure on Ashton there, but he dealt with it well. So it was nice to see the boys there. I bet he's going to pull a nice wheelie, 'cause he likes his wheelies, old young Ashton VALE.
He must have heard us. There we go, our winner in red was Jody SCOTT, in blue Ashton VALE getting the 5-1, in white was Max Perry, and in yellow was Kyron Leyden. So good 5-1 there for the Oxford Chargers, putting it at 30. Gate 1 in yellow, we've got Kyron Leyden. Off number 2 in blue, we've got Ashton VALE.
I tell you what I like about those heats is it's great to hear Bomber and Henry Atkins giving it the commentary. They did really well on the day. All the other regular comms were unavailable that day, so those boys stepped in, and it's great when you hear it, because they've obviously got that on-track knowledge really in depth to bring you. So yeah, great to have a little flashback there. Another good win that was for Jody SCOTT in that meeting. So we are heat number 8 here, and we will of course run to programme in. No, we're going to have Jacob. We've got a change there off the inside. I think we potentially do. Yes, Senna SUMMERS, yeah. Senna's going to go off the inside. So Wayne Hutt swapped out of this one. So Senna SUMMERS, he's off the inside. He's going to be in the blue helmet colour. Kai Ward in yellow, he's going to be off gate 2. Ashton VALE comes in for Wayne Hutt in this one. He'll be in the red helmet colour off gate 3. And Ben Rathbone, white helmet colour, he's going to be off the outside in white. All these boys have got points on the board so far. Wayne Hutt just swapped out of this one for Ashton VALE. 4 paid 5 from his 2 heats so far. So here we go, heat number 8, 7-point gap. Even break going up into the first turn. Oh, that's nice and close, but that's a nice line there from Ashton VALE. Is Senna SUMMERS going to join him? Yes, he is. So there's work to be done here for the Middlesbrough Tigers. Ashton VALE out front, Senna SUMMERS in second, Kai Ward sat in third, and Ben Rathbone at the moment at the back. So if Oxford could just calm this one down, the 2 reserves have joined up in this one. Be a massive 5-1 if they can bring this. Ashton VALE looks good out front. He's going to bring home that 3 points, barring any drastic measure, anything happen to him. Senna SUMMERS sat here comfortably in second place. Oh, just a bit of bother there for Kai Ward in third, but he stays upright. Tiger boys there at the back just swapping position. So as we head into the last lap, pretty cut and dry already. Ashton VALE, he's out front. Senna SUMMERS, he's sat in second place. Third place is Ben Rathbone. Kai Ward, he finds himself at the back, so it's going to be another big 5-1. This is going to stretch that gap now. Yeah, well done to the Oxford Chargers in that one. They've got themselves out front, rode comfortably, never in any danger. Ashton VALE, he picks up the win. Senna SUMMERS second, and it was Ben Rathbone in third. So another 5-1. 29-18, it just stretches that lead out. Smart move there from Peter Schroeck. Just Wayne Hutt will obviously get his third ride at some point, but sometimes you just got to get those points on the board and get that gap. And that's what Peter Schroeck did there. So decent management from Peter, making the change, hammering home the 5-1. There we go, Ashton VALE with the win. Senna SUMMERS in second, 5 big points for the Oxford Chargers. Third place was Ben Rathbone, he picked up the 1 point, and Hayward at the back. So 5-1s, second one, third one of the evening for the Oxford Chargers. That makes the progressive score 29 to Oxford and 18 to the Middlesbrough Tigers. Ben Rathbone there, he picked up the 1 point. Hayward, who was holding that third place for a bit, just got into a bit of bother and dropped to the back. So the 2 minutes is already on for heat number 9. So something's got to give. There's a bit of work maybe to be done for Stuart SWALES. He'll be looking to make a change at some point. We'll keep an eye on that. I'm sure that we're going to see a ride replacement. Might even be after this one. I imagine they'll run to programme here. Then Trigger finds himself out in white. Jason Garrod unbeaten so far, he's going to be off of gate 3. Here joined by Jacob Clouting. Good result second time out. William Hocaniuk, he's going to be in yellow, so yeah, we're going to run to programme in this one. Stuart not making any changes. Potentially the change will come in the next one, but we shall see. 29-18. Off the inside is going to be Jacob Clouting in blue. Next to him will be Ben Trigger in the white helmet colour. Next to him, Jason Garrod unbeaten so far. Jason will be in the red helmet colour. And off the outside is William Hocaniuk. He's going to be going from 4 with the yellow helmet colour. Got 2 points last time out. In that strange 3-2 heat where we had 2 non-finishers. So Ben Trigger, he will have the responsibility here for the Tigers. Up against Jacob Clouting, who got paid second last time out, and Jason Garrod unbeaten so far. 20 seconds left on the countdown clock. Jacob's ready, he's at tape. We're just waiting for Ben, just waiting for both the Middlesbrough Tigers at the moment. Here they come, they're up to tapes. Start Marshall looking pretty happy, just bringing Ben up a tiny bit. Yep, good to go. Green light is on. Tapes are going to go up and away they go. Ben Trigger with a good start for 2, Jason Garrod with a good start for 3. What's going to develop in that first 2 turns? Ben Trigger holds it, nice line from Ben. Jason Garrod in second place. Unbeaten so far, what can he produce? Ben Trigger out front, Jason Garrod second. Almost said Savalas, Jacob Clouting in third. And William Hocaniuk at the back. Bit of dust kicking up, but it's not going to bother Ben Trigger. He finds himself out front. Jason Garrod, can he land a blow and keep that unbeaten run going so far? He's 2 from 2 so far. Jason is going to put Ben under pressure for the full 4 laps. Just locks up a tiny bit, giving Ben a bit more of a gap there. Yeah, a little bit of a gap stretched out now. Just locked up a tiny bit there going into turn 2. But Ben out front has a quick look over his shoulder. He can see that Jason's still on him. Jason hasn't dropped away. Any mistake from Ben and Jason could capitalise, but looks like he's pulling away as we go into the last couple of turns of heat number 9. Yeah, it's going to be a win for Ben Trigger. Well done, Ben Trigger. Jason's second place, Garrod third place for Jacob Clouting, and William Hocaniuk not a million miles behind William there at the back. He comes home in 4th place. So a 3-3 scoreline keeps that points gap the same, but it goes to 32 to 21 in favour of the Chargers. A good heat win for Ben Trigger. William Hocaniuk did his best to keep on the pace. He comes round to take a few whistles and a few claps from the home straight. So there goes Jason Garrod's unbeaten run for the night. Ben Trigger with a win out front, 3 points for him. Jason Garrod second, comfortable for him, pushed Ben Trigger all the way but couldn't land a blow. Jacob Clouting in third with the 1 point, and William Hocaniuk at the back. So a 3-3 scoreline keeps that scoreline at an 11-point gap, 32 to 21 in favour of the Chargers. Let's see if we run to programme. Yeah, I think we're probably going to. I can see Jamie Halder and Ben and Danny Phillips getting themselves ready to go. We may well see the water bowsers quickly come out. Not the track. I don't think we'll do any track work as such, but there will be some some water put down on the outside, I would imagine. They won't put it down on the inside. It's getting slick a little bit on the inside now, as you can imagine, halfway through this meeting. So I think we'll see a bit of water put down, maybe overall all of the start, but definitely on the wide line. So we can see Jamie spreading the water. We'll just roll out here a little bit. But yeah, it's good to see the riders at this level. Sometimes the races do split into two because there can be a bit of a gulf between the heat leaders at this level and those riders that have potentially just come into the sport at the bottom end. But good to see all of the riders apart from Wayne have got a point on the board so far. It's only Wayne Hutt for the Chargers that don't. He's the only one without a point so far. We'll just take this opportunity to wish the machine examiner here at Oxford, Colin Perkins, his birthday today. Colin, did spot him eating some curry and chips in the pits earlier for his birthday on a nice warm day. So many happy returns coming from everybody at the club, and that works really, really hard behind the scenes, and of course on match days as well. Machine examiner, have a wonderful day. So we can see there's Wayne Hutt. He's going to be coming out again in heat number 10. He will partner Luke Killeen. This will be Wayne's third outing. And they'll be up against Danny Phillips and Jamie Halder. See the guys looking over the fence there as we just scan down the pits. The gear change there. Following that one for Jason Garrod. But again, did marvellous to get a maximum in his last one. Like I say, once you come up against the fellow heat leaders at this level, anybody can beat anybody. And Ben Trigger rode really nicely in that one, thankfully bouncing up from his spill in his second outing to take his second win of the night. And you can see the water barrels are just putting the water down. You can see that glassy look to the track. That's where the water just sits on top. So the boys will just have to ride with a tiny bit of caution, because it will be on the surface obviously, but it doesn't take long to soak in when the weather's as hot as it is today. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream. Thank you for tuning in. We're pretty much going to try and do every stream this season for Oxford. If it's on BSN, we will step back for that meeting. Thursday, BSN will be here. So it's good that you're joining us. Nice that we can get that camera there in the pits, giving you a view of what's going on. As many of you Oxford fans will know, the pits used to be down the slope on the apex of turns 3 and 4. Used to be a bit special to see the riders coming out there from the tunnel when I was a kid. I used to have to stand to the left of that and see the riders coming up and out. But with the new development, we've got the pits on the back straight, which I think is a great development, because everybody can see everything that's going on over there. And in between the heats, even though you are the majority of the fans there, there's a nice view of Luke looking across the track. You can see the boys, you can see what's going on. If there's any excitement going on in the pitch, you can see that now. Whereas before it was tucked down behind the slope with only a few people able to lean over the top. There's some of the red car management down here with the Middlesbrough team today. Great to see the Middlesbrough name back in the sport, like I said at the opening of the show. Some incredible riders they've had down the years at Middlesbrough, when they used to be at the old Clevedon Park. Eric Bucock, Dave Younghusband, Jeff Pusey for the older fans watching on the stream. And then a bit more modern, the likes of Martin Dixon, Gary Havelock, Shane Parker rode there. Some really famous names that have ridden for Middlesbrough. Pretty much a National League side as it was back then, which was the second division of the sport, as many of you will know. And then Paul Bentley won the Division 2 Riders' Championship in '94, I think it was, to take an individual honour back to Middlesbrough at that time. So yeah, great that the Red Car have committed to the National League level of the sport. Fair play to everybody concerned at the club for running the two sides. Getting a 6-team league this year at this level. Under 16s were free to enter today here at the stadium. So with a paying adult, the kids can come in for free, which is a great initiative. Because I think I was talking to somebody earlier on, and it doesn't matter what level of the sport kids watch, you'll have a hero at that level. My lads, when they were younger, we used to go to Birmingham when they were in the National League, and the likes of Mitchell Davey, Leon Flint, huge superstars to them. They're huge superstars in their own right, of course, but to my lads, they were big heroes. And it'll be the same today with the likes of Jason Garrod and Luke Killeen. The young kids will be looking up to those two riders. So 32-21 as we speak. The riders just coming out now. We are going to see Luke Killeen. We're going to see Wayne Hutt for his third outing of the evening. And then we'll see Danny Phillips and Jamie Halder for the Middlesbrough Tigers. So there's just an opportunity now that this meeting's going to get away from Middlesbrough. It's not a surprise. It's not a surprise when you've got home heat leaders like Luke, Jason Garrod. Jody SCOTT will come into his own now that he's had that exclusion. He won his last one. So it's tough because you always know you're going to have a big hitter in every race. So you've got to try and pack in and get those second and third spots so that the scoreline doesn't get away from you. That is what Stuart SWALES, Jade MUDGWAY, that's what Jamie Swales is here as well today. That's what those boys will want from this meeting now. So off the inside in blue is going to be Wayne Hutt for the Oxford Chargers. Next to him, Jamie Halder in yellow. Luke Killeen unbeaten so far. He'll be in the red helmet colour off of gate 3 and a couple of solid second places. But Danny Phillips, he's going to go off gate 4 in the white helmet colour. 32-21. They'll be hoping Middlesbrough to pack in and take the second and third, I would imagine. Luke looking a class above in this meeting so far. And for Wayne Hutt, it'll be a case of trying to make the gate, getting amongst it, hopefully getting amongst those two Middlesbrough riders. See if he can potentially try and steal a point. So here we go, heat number 10. Oxford Chargers, Middlesbrough Tigers. Oh, Wayne, I don't think that was Wayne. I think that was potentially clutch gone, maybe, no. No. So I don't think we're going to see him come back. Let's have a look. Here we go. Just watch the... Oh, yeah, he did. He just dropped the clutch and went. Got to wait for those tapes, Wayne. That's unfortunate for him. Just keen to get away. I didn't know if that was a mechanical issue at first, but no. The replay shows us perfectly. Wayne just dropping the clutch, disappearing. And so, it is a case now. Will we see him go off at 15? Yeah, a bit of tape work going on. Those guys have had a busy day today. So the elastic around the top. They'll have to free the dead tape up from the elastic. There we go. Don't normally get to see that. They're working hard to free the tapes up there. Hopefully they can do that. But it happens. He's still on track, so I think he's gonna come out, and this will be his third ride. I think they'll keep Wayne in this one. It's going to be a very tall order to get any points from 15 for him in this one. But that's what we say, you never know what can happen in front of you. There's always the potential for somebody to slip off, mechanical failure, or maybe somebody will touch the tapes. Maybe we'll end up with a couple going off of 15. And we can see the guys just fixing the tapes to get it back on. We had a few stoppages today. It does happen. But we've seen some good performances. That's what this level's all about. Is looking at that next rider coming through. When you think of the riders that have raced at this level, you know, Dan Bewley's a great example. One day National League, next day battling away in the Grand Prix. And that's what a lot of these lads will be aspiring to achieve. The likes of Jody SCOTT, Kai Ward, Ben Trigger. That's what these young boys will want to achieve as their careers develop. So we've just got a bit of tape work going on just to fix the broken tapes at the moment. Wayne Hutt is still on track, so I don't think we'll have a change for him. Jamie Courtney on the right, Michael Hunt on the left. Michael used to be the clerk of the course at Swindon. He's now the clerk of the course here at Oxford. He is one of the highly regarded clerks of the course in the business. He does Cardiff every year. Yeah, he's one of the best at what he does in and around the pits, controlling the meeting, Other riders got a lot of respect for Michael. Been around the sport. His dad was involved doing the similar thing way back when. Great to see. So we fix the tapes. Riders are coming back round. Another rerun for us today. Clutches are taking a pounding in the heat. Got a minute and 30 on the clock, but I think we'll be getting going a little bit before then. Here we go again. So slight change now. We're going to see Luke Killeen off of gate number 1 because we'll shift over because of Wayne touching the tapes. So yeah, it'll be Luke Killeen, he'll be off the inside in red. Jamie Halder, he'll stay off of 2. And what we'll see now is off of 15 metres, Wayne Hutt, he will go off of gate 3. And Danny Phillips will be off of gate 4 in the white helmet colour. So a slight change to what you saw there, but you can see it on track. You can see Luke there in the red helmet colour. Oh, post is coming out. Keep an eye on that post. Anybody that tuned in late, that did cause a rerun earlier on that white post. Hopefully it won't in this heat. So heat number 10, 32.21. Whoa, 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 whoa. We've got another issue with the tapes here. Oh, again, mechanics, riders, they won't be happy with that. It doesn't do the bikes any good whatsoever. Not sure what that was about, but the white post has gone. And white post has caused more headaches and stoppages today than anything or anybody else. Hold on, ref. Wayne Hutt's not even in position. There we go. Right, here we go. We're ready to go. Hopefully we're ready to go for heat number 10. Crikey, it's nearly Christmas. Here we go. Tapes go up and away we go, finally. There's a decent start off of 2 from Jamie Halder. He's got a bit of hot going in there. Stays upright. Luke Killeen out front. Danny Phillips 2nd. Jamie Halder 3rd. Wayne Hutt 4th. Let's see how this heat develops, because Luke Killeen I don't think is going to be put under any threat. He's got such a lovely style out front. Catches a tiny bit of grip going in there, but Luke out front looking good. On his way to his 3rd heat win. Danny Phillips 2nd place at the moment. Jamie Halder 3rd. Jamie had a little bit of bother coming into turn there. Wayne Hutt still upright as we come into heat lap number 3 for him. Yeah, Luke out front looking good. Danny Phillips again is going to pick up another 2nd place for Middlesbrough. Solid scorer for them so far today. 3rd place Jamie Halder. This race just sprung out a little bit, but let's just watch the class of Luke Killeen out front. Really in control, looks good. He's got a big future in the sport as he comes around to take the checkered flag for another heat win. Tiny bit out of shape there, but a solid win. No bother from him. Danny Phillips 2nd, Jamie Halder 3rd, and Wayne Hutt finishes the 4 laps. Takes the checkered flag for the first time today. No disrespect there though for him. You know, he's riding way above what his level is. He's only stepped in to help out, and fair play to him for getting on track and giving it a go. So, win for Luke Killeen. Not bothered at all there for the 4 laps. Danny Phillips with another 2nd. 3rd for Jamie Halder. There we go. Luke Killeen with the win. Danny Phillips 2nd. Jamie Halder 3rd. Wayne Hutt at the back for Oxford. So a 3-3 scoreline. Keeps that 11-point gap. 35 to Oxford. 24 to the Middlesbrough Tigers. And another heat win for Luke Killeen. 3 on the spin for him now. Looking good. Another 2nd place for Danny Phillips. Solid scoring for him. And another point on the board for Jamie Halder. So again, we can see the Middlesbrough riders coming out onto track. They will run to tapes. There's the home straight gang. Oxford Spies, Oxford Cheaters, Oxford Chargers. Wonderful. We've got 3 teams on track this year, supporting every level of the sport. Great, the fans are turning out. It's a beautiful day today. We've got nothing else to do. This is the best place to be. We thank you for tuning into the stream. If you didn't come out, I can see quite a few yellow shirts beneath me. A few Oxford United shirts, hangovers from yesterday's playoff win, taking them into the championship. Okay, Jade MUDGWAY, he's going to come out for his 3rd ride. Jade hasn't scored. He scored a point in his first one, engine failure in his 2nd when he was in a comfortable 2nd place. So he'll be looking to finish those 4 laps. Just a quick look at the gates there. You can see the ruts developing. Riders will get round to tapes, choose the rut they want to get out of, and then pack that in. 2 minutes is counting down. Let's have a look at what we can see here. I might see a rider change in blue. Is that Senna SUMMERS coming out in blue? Potentially, I'll confirm that for you in a moment. That's definitely Jody Scott in the red helmet colour. He's going to be going for gate number 2. And it is Senna Summers, we can confirm, has come in for Ashton VALE. So here we go, Jade MUDGWAY, he'll be off the inside in white. Jody Scott, winner last time out, he'll be in the red helmet colour for Oxford gate 2. Ben Rathbone, 4 points so far for him, he's going to be yellow off of gate 3. And a change to your programme. Senna Summers will go in the blue helmet colour off gate 4 in a replacement for Ashton VALE. So, Jade and Ben. Again, Jody Scott looked good in his last one. Winner last time out. For the Middlesbrough Tigers, they'll be hoping that Jade and Ben can get in amongst that second and third. Senna Summers picked up a couple of solid points. Got 5.6 so far. Here we go. Heat number 11, takes go up. A good start for Jody Scott. Looks like Jade's got problems from the start again. That'll be disappointing for him. Senna Summers is looking up the inside here of Ben Rathbone, but can't land a blow at this stage. Out front, Jody Scott. Second place, Ben Rathbone. Senna Summers in third, and disappointingly for Jade MUDGWAY, he's pulled into the centre green. He won't complete the heat, so Ben Rathbone out on his own, packed into second. Race looking pretty settled out at the moment. Jody Scott looking fast out front, just riding mid-track. Everybody just mid-track really at the moment. Senna Summers still looking to try and get up on Ben Rathbone in second place. But again, a bit like the last time out, he's not dropping back, but he's not catching him up either. So as we go into the last lap, Jody Scott out front, Ben Rathbone in second, Senna Summers in third. He's just drifted a little bit across the turn there, giving Senna just a little sniff of second place. Maybe if he had another lap, he might be able to have a go. He's having a look up the inside here. So win for Jody Scott, second for Ben Rathbone, third for Senna Summers. Jade MUDGWAY failing to finish with bike problems. Disappointment for him, but no disappointment for Jody Scott. Another win for him. Senna Summers taking the third place. Gives them another 4-2 and just inches a little bit away again. (39.26) at this stage of the meeting. Well done, Jody Scott. Another win for him. Second place was Ben Rathbone. He held on to second. Senna was having a little look. Kept him honest for the 4 laps, but couldn't get close enough to put him under any real pressure. He picked up 1 point in third place, and Jade MUDGWAY, second time tonight with an engine failure, failed to finish. Disappointment for him, disappointment for the Tigers, but good stuff for the Oxford Chargers. 4-2 makes it 39-26 for them. And with heats 13 and 15 to come, where they're going to have some big hitters. You may feel the meeting has just started to get away a little bit from the Middlesbrough Tigers. But Jody Scott, after that disappointing exclusion in his first one, bounced back with 2 very good wins. Senna Summers scored in every one of his rides from reserve. He's done well. Ben Rathbone with another 2 points. He's done pretty good for the Tigers. He's on 6 from his 4 rides. And for one night only, apparently, Jade MUDGWAY has been niggled by bike problems, which is a real shame for him. As the Tigers will back into the pits there. Yeah, the barrels will come out again just to put a bit more water down and dampen the surface again. They're doing a good job because, yes, it's dusty, but it's so hot. It's bound to get like that. There's some gate stats for you. It's evening out now. We've got 3 wins off of the inside 3 gates and 2 wins off of gate 4. Points are spread evenly across the inside 3 gates. Pretty much 22, 14, 18 percentages there, 27, 27, 27, and 11 points from the outside. So yeah, nothing really to choose from those gate stats. If you make the gate, get out on that line, you can win the heat pretty comfortably. No graveyard gate today here. Just looking down on the starts, there's more grooves on 1, 2, and 4 than there is on 3 really. So there's a bit of work going on there to the bike. That's Jade's bike. Whether it's the same problem in the 2 heats or what, I don't know. It's a shame for him. We will see him again in 13, of course. There's Jade just doing a bit of work. Really disappointing for him. Again, without those bike problems, he could comfortably be on 5 or 6 points himself today. But we'll never know because he didn't get to finish 2 of the heats. shame as well, because he's been practicing recently. Yeah, just while the Bowser's going out and putting a bit of water down, let's have another little flashback, and let's have another little look at a recent heat.
It's heat number 14. He's got the inside gate. Zach Cook in white. Gate number 1. Ashton VALE in blue. Gate number 2. Max Perry, he's in yellow. Gate number 3 with Jordan Jenkins. He's in red off the outside. Zach Cook's going to be the last man to order. Charlie Marshall is losing a bit of patience with him. But here we go. Pretty sure he's 14. Pace flyway to go. And it's a good start from Ashton VALE, who gets into the first corner ahead of Zach Cook. Trying to come from wide is Jordan Jenkins, and it's tight down the back straight, but Jenkins with the outside run here on Zach Cook. Can he make it stick? Looks like he can. And Oxford emerge 1 and 2. VALE with a fast start, making it count, and a good first lap from Jordan Jenkins.
Yeah, the obviously changes Ashton's has made a great positive effect on him. He's made a great start off of 2, and Jordan did exactly what I said. He went round the outside, built up the speed, but Zach's still there. He's still having a go, but Ashton looks good out in front.
VALE with a comfortable advantage out front. The race on full second between Jenkins and Zach Cook, and Cook doing it everything here. He's right on the tail. Looking back, Jordan Jenkins, he knows exactly where he is. And Cook with work to do here down the back straight for the final time. Not too much between them, but it does look as if the Morlock Oxford Cheetahs are going to bag a big 5-1 out of this heat number 14. One last effort from Cook on one way, oh my word! Well, I'm going to let Dave Waters call that. I think Jenkins got it, just about hung on, but we wheel away the word because that was close. Credit to Zach Cook for giving it everything for all 4 laps. And the Oxford boys combined for the 5-1. Credit to Cook. Here's your result of heat 14. Ashton VALE taking it from Jordan Jenkins. Zach Cook for 3rd, Max Perry at the back. It's a big 5-1 for the home side.
Yeah, good heat there. Zach Cook pushing to the line there in the Cheetahs versus Paul. Recent fixture here. And a great win for Ashton VALE. A young lad who's making plenty of noises in the sport. Peter Schroeck brought him here, and he's proven his worth. Great rider. Nothing too much expected of him from outside, but plenty of expectation on himself. I know his mechanic Wayne Parker pretty well, and Wayne said he's a really nice guy to work with, and his dad, lovely people, and he's doing really well in the sport. Fair play to Ashton. We're looking in the pits here, just a bit of bike work going on. And the Oxford boys there having just a bit of a chat amongst themselves. Not necessarily a team meeting as such, but just trading a few ideas, just draining the bike out there. And that's Wayne Hutt's bike, so that's the last time we'll see Wayne tonight. Again, difficult for him because he's racing above his level really, but he's doing brilliant. He's out there, he's trying his hardest, and he's doing what many of us wish we could have done. There's Jacob Clouting. He's not overly happy at the moment, Jacob. 3 points from his 4 rides, including a fall in his first one. The clutch cooler there, it's just blowing air onto the clutch just to keep it cool. A warm day like this is needed. I imagine there's 14 of them bellowing away in the pits at the moment. So Jody SCOTT was the mechanic. Was the mechanic? No, he wasn't. Lee. That's what I was just talking about. He was the mascot up at King's Lynn for a while when he was a young lad. That's where he first took to track. That's when Peter Schroeck was around that club as well and spotted the talent and brought him through and given him a shot here at Oxford this year, and has done very well. Won the league with him last year. He's developing nicely in the sport. That's Ashton VALE there. He's had a good night so far. Good afternoon. Ashton VALE, a couple of race wins for him, and a paid 3rd place as well. So he'll be really pleased with his development tonight. He's a good grass tracker as well, Ashton VALE. So there we can see unbeaten so far. Luke Killeen 9 points from his 3 outings. Jason Garrod with 8, just dropping the 1 point so far. A couple of wins for Jody SCOTT, and Ashton VALE there, like we just said, 7 points for him so far tonight. But points across the board apart from Wayne Hutt. Senna with a couple of, and it's always nice to get paid points as well when you're down at the bottom end where you're packing into those 3rd places. Standout unlucky for Jade. He hasn't finished 2 of those heats. So his paid third was the only one he finished. A couple of wins for Ben Trigger and a fall as well. Thankfully there was no damage from that one. Solid Danny Phillips, middle order of the team, engine room, he's done really well. Ben Rathbone, he's picked up 6 as well from his outings. So potentially going to walk away from here with a defeat, the Middlesbrough Tigers, but there's plenty of positives for those guys. Is that Pico? Is that Josh Pickering in the pits there? I think it is. Nice to see Pico. He had a tumble up at Edinburgh the other day and couldn't complete the meeting, so really good to see him up on his feet. And around about the pits tonight. So he travelled down with somebody. I actually saw the crash, a nasty looking crash up at Edinburgh for Josh Pickering. Just went in hot there on turns 3 and 4 and ended up in the bag when he was chasing a couple of the boys down. But yeah, glad he's well. Good to see. Nice guy, Josh. Great to see him here. Probably supporting, offering a bit of advice to some of the other boys. So the barrels are still out. Let's put a bit down. There's Jody SCOTT. Senna SUMMERS. Aaron Summers, a rider many of us will remember. Was an accomplished rider, Aaron. Had him at the Swindon Robbers when I was there for a bit. Really good guy. Nice to see Senna working his way in the sport. It's interesting because when I was leaving, I think after the last meeting I was here, somebody was out on track. I was talking and walking with somebody, and I just said, "Who's that out on track at the minute?" You see, it was Senna. He looked really good. He was putting in fast laps on his own, and he's putting that onto the track, which is terrific to see. So yeah, we're just doing that. There's very little track work as such going on because the surface is offering a decent surface for the guys. It's just getting the water down, just so that we don't end up with a dust bowl where all we can see is the dust flying up. So yeah, shame for Jade MUDGWAY tonight. He'd have been looking this afternoon. He'd have been looking forward to this, but he's had a couple of engine failures. Went in scoring positions, and that really has hampered the Tigers quite a bit. But the home power that they've got here, there's Jade. He's just looking at the bike. Whether we'll see him out, whether that bike, I'm not sure if he's only got the one bike in the pits, Jade. I think he probably only has one bike these days. And when you do get a problem, you've only got the one bike. It's yeah, headache. There you go. He's asking for help. Sorry, can't do anything from up here. Can't do anything from up here, Jade. But we may see him in 13, or we may not if he might have to borrow a machine. But Tigers look happy, you know, it's a learning curve. That's what this process of the sport is. Yes, it's about winning. We all want to win, of course we do. Whatever you're doing, you want to win. But it's just great to see these guys getting track time and learning and improving. Every time you go out, something happens, you learn from that. Put it to practice doing it differently the next time around. But been around the sport a long time, Jade. Respected by everybody, I think, within the sport for what he's done on and off the track. So we're having a few water breaks, I think, as well for the guys that stood out in the centre green, paramedics, track staff. They're just coming back out following heat 11. We're ready for heat 12. Bit of chain lube going on there. Ben Rathbone's bike. He's scored in every race so far, which is terrific for him. He's done very well. And again, at this level, it's about staying upright as well, as we've seen with Wayne Hutt. Sometimes you get excited. It's just staying upright and completing the laps when you're learning your trade, because you don't know what's going to happen in front of you. So we're 39.26 there, as you can see on screen. We've got 4 heats to go. I think it's fair to say we're not going to get a super heat, because even at this level of the sport, if the match is drawn, meetings are drawn, we do get a super heat to determine a winner. We don't do draws in Speedway. We don't do draws. There's Ben Trigger, thankfully looking all right after that spill. Bounced up from that. Tough old boy. Ben doing very well tonight, and working hard at championship level as well. Learning as he's going, as long as the riders are given the opportunity at that level of the sport to progress and learn and not score and learn from that, rather than just getting dropped and moved on. You see a little cluster in the middle of your screen there of supporters, sponsors that have come out on the centre green, which is really nice. Good to see. A you've never ever watched a race from the inside of the track before, if there's I think Birmingham used to offer fans the opportunity to do that. So if you ever do get the opportunity to get into the centre to watch a race, please take it up, because it's so different to watch it from the centre. You really get a perspective on the speed that the guys are travelling at. Anyway, the 2 minutes is on. We are moving into heat number 12. We are 4 heats left with 39.26. I think the meeting is in the hands of the Chargers. They're going to take the points from this one. It is just about now what can be done by the Tigers to A, give us some entertainment, or B, just drag that score in. Because you've got to remember there's aggregate points as well. There's an aggregate bonus point on offer for all the home and away fixtures. So you want to keep this as close as you can, so that when Middlesbrough entertain the Chargers later in the year, they'll be looking to obviously win that meeting and take that aggregate point. Oxford will be wanting to rack the points up so they can comfortably go there and enjoy their visit to Red Car. Anyway, here we go with heat number 12. William Hocaniuk on the inside in yellow. Next to him, Jason Garrod, red helmet colour. Danny Phillips, gate 3, second place man so far. And Ashton VALE, reserve substitute ride. He will be going off of the outside, replacing Senna SUMMERS. Ashton VALE in blue off of gate number 4. Just taking advantage to swap those riders over in the last couple of heats. Peter Schroeck. Senna SUMMERS picked up 1 point from his switch with Ashton VALE. What can Ashton do in this ride? Can he do a similar thing? Danny Phillips, 3 second places for him so far. Nice and consistent. So William Hocaniuk, Jason Garrod, Ashton VALE, Danny Phillips. Heat number 12, takes her up, away we go. It's a good start from the middle two, Danny Phillips and Jason Garrod. Danny Phillips just looking around the outside. Can he get the run? No, he can't. Jason nice and powerful up the back straight, up that inside line. But Danny Phillips settled into second. Does love a second place today, Danny. But he's putting Jason Garrod under pressure. And we've got a battle in third. Ashton VALE, he's in third place. William Hocaniuk in fourth. Almost got 2 races in one. But Jason Garrod now starting to pull away. Put his marker down on this heat. Danny Phillips was on his back wheel for a little bit. But there's still a battle going on for third and fourth. William Hocaniuk is giving it a good go. Ashton VALE again just riding comfortable, sensible inside line, nothing silly. Williams just gone across the corner there a little bit and drifted back. But out front, Jason Garrod looking good. Danny Phillips not a million miles behind. He's going to look to bag his 4th second place of the day here, Danny Phillips. Ashton VALE comfortable in third place. William Hocaniuk just drifting off a little bit now at the back. But another good heat win for Jason Garrod. 3 out of 4 heat wins for him. Danny Phillips, second place again for him. Ashton VALE does what Senna SUMMERS did in the reserve switch before, picking up a third place 1 point. And William Hocaniuk trying his hardest there at the back, but just not able to get in amongst the scorers. So a 4-2 for the home team. Back wheel for Jason Garrod as he comes down the back straight. Another win for him. That really now has put the meeting well and truly to bed. It's what Oxford can do in terms of getting a huge margin, or whether the Tigers can just reel them in and keep it close going into that second fixture in the league. So there we go, Jason Garrod, he was the winner out front in the red helmet colour. Danny Phillips was second, another 2 points for him. Ashton VALE, third place, reserve switch. Him and Senna SUMMERS both getting third places in their switched heats. And William Hocaniuk trying his hardest but unable to land a blow on the point scorers. 43-28 as we've completed heat number 12. We'll move on to what is seen as the big heat number 13. Jade MUDGWAY's got his bike going, so he will be out for it. Ashton VALE with another point there. William Hocaniuk trying hard, unable to get in amongst it. And the 4th, second place of Danny Phillips. Of the evening, I'd have a wager that we'll see Danny Phillips in heat 15, but I'll wait and see on that one. The riders coming around to tapes. Big heat then. Number 13, Luke Killeen, Jody SCOTT. We're going to be up against Jade MUDGWAY and Ben Trigger. Let's hope Jade MUDGWAY's bike can go for the 4 laps. Got a mechanic sprinting over onto track to Ben Trigger. Here we go, Luke Killeen off the inside in red. Got the wrong helmet colour on, I think. Ben Trigger needs to have a yellow helmet colour. Jade MUDGWAY, he'll be off of white, off of gate 2. Blue, Jody SCOTT, gate number 3. Ben Trigger now in the yellow. There we go, yellow helmet colour off of the outside. Jade MUDGWAY rolling, he's got that bike running. Let's hope that can continue for the 4 laps to give us a good 4-rider race here in heat number 13. The meeting is essentially done for the Oxford Chargers. They've picked up the points here today. The Tigers have done really well to hold on to their coattails for, you know, the main bulk of the meeting, but just the back end, it's just starting to drift away from them, with a couple of 5-1s and a couple of 4-2s for the home side. So big 15, big heat 13 here. Killeen just off having a bit of gardening. Start marshal club in his hand, trying to get them into place. Luke Killeen, Jade MUDGWAY, Jody SCOTT, Ben Trigger. Some heat wings amongst these boys tonight. Unbeaten Luke Killeen. Takes go up, heat 13, bit of a lift from Jody SCOTT. Luke Killeen and Jody SCOTT have both made the gate. What can Jade MUDGWAY and Ben Trigger do, if anything? Already the Oxford boys are pulling away. Will they work together, one inside, one outside? Will we see a little bit of team riding? Will we see a glance across at each other to work together? That's what they need to do, because if Ben Trigger can reel them in, he could land a blow on those boys. But they're out front, they're looking good. Oh, he's just drifted a little bit wide there, Jody SCOTT. This is what they could have done to work together, the Oxford boys, but they haven't. And now it's up to Jody SCOTT to hold off Ben Trigger, who's riding a really tight line coming around 1 and 2 to try and get a run up the inside. Jade MUDGWAY's just drifted away a little bit at the back, but Ben Trigger seems to be pulling Jody SCOTT in as they go around turns 3 and 4. He's got one more lap, he's riding a really tight line, he's holding it narrow. He's trying to get that run up the inside. Can he do anything? Luke Killeen's got this one in the bag. Jody SCOTT, will he hold on to second place? Yeah, lovely line there from Jody on the last lap. Second place for Jody SCOTT. Ben Trigger trying hard in 3rd place. Couldn't get up on Jody SCOTT. And a big 5-1 puts the meeting well and truly to bed. Keeps Luke Killeen on a full max. And Jody SCOTT paid win after 2 heat wins. So the boys will come round to take the applause from the crowd. Bit of back wheel action from Luke. Happy with that, the Oxford boys. 48-29. There we go, Luke Killeen with the win. 4th win on the night for him. Jody SCOTT 2nd. Ben Trigger in 3rd. Trying really hard, Ben. Trying different things on the track. Just couldn't get that grip to get up to make a challenge for 2nd. And Jade MUDGWAY in 4th place. 5-1 to the Oxford Chargers over the Middlesbrough Tigers. That makes it Oxford 48, Middlesbrough 29, with 2 heats to go. Let's have a look at it from the tapes. Pretty much done and dusted from the tapes, if we're honest. The 2 Oxford boys made the gate. Ben was with them, but when you're on the outside, it's hard to get across. And then Jade had got himself into a position that just seemed to bulk Ben's run a little bit. And from there, they run a lap together, the Oxford boys. Luke was inside, Jody was outside, and then Luke just had a bit more speed. Left Jody to fend for himself to a degree, and Ben put him under lots of pressure, but just couldn't pick the line that was going to work to get him up the inside or around the outside. He was trying the inside line there, couldn't land a blow. So it was a 5-1. It's 48-29. The meeting's done. Well done to Oxford for picking up the points. Let's hope we get a couple of entertaining heats to finish with heat number 14. Off the inside, Jamie Halder, white helmet colour. Next to him, Ashton VALE, blue helmet colour. Kai Ward, he will go yellow off of gate number 3. And off of the outside in red will be Jacob Clouting for the Oxford Chargers. 2 heats to go. Middlesbrough will be looking to get something out of them. Oxford will be looking to extend that advantage and take a big scoreline up to Teesside when they head up there later in the season. Jamie Halder inside. Jacob Clouting outside. Tapes go up, away they go, and it's Ashton VALE and blue. Made a decent start, but it's a good start in white from Jamie Halder. Round the outside comes Ashton VALE. Well done, that man. Middlesbrough packed into 2nd and 3rd. Can Jacob Clouting take his time and land a blow on the 2 boys in front of him? He's going wide to have a look. Ashton VALE, he's out front. He's looking good in 1st place. Jamie Halder, he's in 2nd. Kai Ward 3rd. Jacob Clouting at the back is just drifting backwards, so it looks like Middlesbrough could stem the flow with the 3-3 here. Jacob just wants to stay upright. It's getting very slick now. The heat's really taking its toll on the surface. Riding lines become more difficult. It's hard to reel riders in when it gets like this. You're just hoping for a bit of a mistake, or if you can just find that little patch that just does give you the drive. But out front, Ashton VALE looking really good. Jamie Halder second place. Third place is Kai Ward. Jacob Clouting at the back, still working hard, still using that inside line like Ben Trigger was trying to do, but not proving to be advantageous at this time. Round the last 2 turns, yeah, good win for Ashton VALE. Second place, White, Jamie Halder. Third place, Kai Ward. And just not his day today, Jacob Clouting. He can't get amongst the scorers. And it's a 3-3 scoreline. (51-32). We're going to see some back wheel action from Ashton VALE. Yes, we are. Good lad. Nice for the home crowd. Bit of a cheer. So Jacob Clouting, just not his day today. Jacob, he's better than these 3 points he's picked up from his 4 rides today. But Ashton VALE will be super happy with that. Another 3 points to add to his day. Excellent return for him. 3 points out front. Second place was Jamie Halder. Kai Ward was third. Jacob Clouting at the back. 3-3 scoreline. After heat 14, it's Oxford 51, Middlesbrough 32. So 1 heat to go. Let's have a look from the tapes. A little bit of movement there from Ashton VALE, tiny bit, might have just given him a bit of a run, bit of an advantage as he came around the outside of Jamie Halder, made a good gate. But from there really, it was done. Ashton was front, he pulled away. See Peter Schroeck just giving his line up for heat 15, 1 heat to go. Meeting done and dusted. A couple of good rides. It's difficult to get the track good on days like this, but Jamie's done brilliantly to give us a surface that the boys have been able to race on. It hasn't caused any problems for anybody, but just very, very difficult to keep the moisture in the track on such a hot day. But the riders have done well. We've had a couple of little incidents. Thankfully, the boys have picked themselves up if they have hit the deck today. A couple of bike problems for a couple of the riders as well. Over to there's the gate stats. Yeah, points again pretty even off the inside 3 gates. We've had gate winners off of all 4 gates. The outside is the gate 4 has been the toughest one today. Gate 2's been, we've had lots of wins off of 2, but less points scored in second and third, which is interesting. So Oxford won the toss. That means Middlesbrough will get the choice of gates going into heat number 15. I hazard a guess we'll see Danny Phillips. I'm just trying to look in there and see if I can see any helmets ready to go. I think it'll be Ben Trigger. I think it'll be Danny Phillips. That's my guess. And for the home side, well, it could be any one of the side. Top end, Luke Killeen, Jason Garrod, Jody SCOTT. 3 race wins today for Ashton VALE. Done really well from reserve. That's a great return from him. 11 paid 12 or 13, I think he's got. Excellent return. So yeah, looking like Ben Trigger in white. And you can see Ben's helmet on the side. Gives the game away. Start filling my program in. Phillips will be in yellow and black. Doing it again. I come from that era where yellow and black was the norm. I think it should be the norm again. I'm going to write into the BSB. I want to see yellow and black back on track. Just looking along the Oxford boys here. That's Wayne Hutt's bike. Strip that down already. Let's see who comes out 4:15. Who's your guess? Will Luke Killeen come out? Will he want to hold on to that max? Anything can happen in heat 15. Ben Trigger, Danny Phillips have rode very well. Jody SCOTT, he's giving the game away there, wearing a blue helmet, holding his blue helmet. I think we'll see Jody SCOTT. And it's whether it's Jason Garrod or Luke Killeen in red. I'll let you know as soon as I eagle eye spot anything. Yeah, Jody SCOTT bounced back well after that first race where he got excluded for the incident going into the first turn. It was a little bit hard done by. Ben Trigger and Jody SCOTT got to the first turn together. And Jody came down, but I don't know, I like to see 4 riders in a race, and if there's a reason to put 4 back in, if it's not obvious and clear. Jason Garrod holding his red helmet. There we go. Luke Killeen's going to take his maximum. He's not going to be tested again in heat 15. So again, just up here, I just didn't manage to pick up what gates they'll have, so we'll wait until the boys roll around at tapes. So it is filtering through. It's 1 and 3 for Middlesbrough, 2 and 4 for Oxford. So we will see Ben Trigger off the inside. We'll see Jason Garrod off a 2. We'll see Danny Phillips off 3, and we'll see Jody SCOTT off of 4. But like we said earlier on, there's been wins from every gate. It's getting more difficult from the outside now as the meet's ticked on. I'm sure we've had a gate winner from 4 for a little while. Early on in the meeting we had a couple, but not so much the back end of the meeting. So Jody SCOTT's got work to do off of 4. Danny Phillips, well, he'll want to win it, but he's got 4 second places, a solid 8 points from his rides. That's good middle order riding from him. He would have wanted to have challenged the winner of each of those heats, but when you pack in and take second places, you're doing your job. So from his 6.91 average, he's comfortably done his job today. Danny Phillips. Ben Trigger has won 2 heats tonight. Also came to grief in a nasty looking spill and has picked up a 3rd place, so 7 points for him. Missed 3 outings. We're just putting a bit more water on just so we can get the completion of the meeting and heat 15 done without clouding everybody out. Still a beautiful afternoon here in Oxford. I imagine half of Oxford have got hangovers after the footy yesterday. 51-32. Meeting done and dusted. Oxford will be pleased with that. That continues their unbeaten start to the season. But it does, on the flip side, continue the Tigers' losing streak at the start. But they'll have some home meetings coming in soon, and hopefully they can make that pay, get some points on the board. I like to see every team do well. I don't want to see anybody at the bottom end with nothing to show. And like we said earlier at the top of the show, there is no playoffs in the National League, so if you win the league, you win the league. You come top. And I think it's going to be, it's not going to be cut and dry. There's some strong sides in this league. Oxford are obviously laying down the marker. Sheffield have got a strong side. We haven't really seen Bellevue come to tapes yet. And Leicester always strong at this level. So it should be an interesting league. So if you've got a National League track near you, go and support it. Get yourselves along. And if you can't, like we're doing today, a lot of other tracks will be doing their own streams. You can support the clubs and you can support British Speedway that way by watching and paying for your own stream, not shipping it out and passing it around, because we'll find you if you do. We'll send the boys round and the girls. Okay, heat 15, 51-32. Ben Trigger off the inside in white, Jason Garrod off of gate 2 in red, Danny Phillips in yellow off of gate 3, and Jody SCOTT in blue off of gate number 4. 8 points, 8 points, 11 and 7. Good scoring from these 4 riders. Today, they can all be pleased with their own personal performances. Oxford will be delighted with the win. Middlesbrough will look to learn from the experience and go again. Let's hope we get an even break. Let's hope we get a good first couple of turns and a good first couple of laps in this one. And get a bit of a battle for the win. Let's end on a high. Congratulations to Peter Schroeck and his team for the victory today. ...20 seconds on the countdown clock. Start Marshall gets them in. Now he's got them in. Everyone's at tapes. Heat 15, last heat of the day. 51-32. Oxford have got the win. Tapes go up on 15. It's a great start from Jody SCOTT off of 4. If he can get the run around Ben Trigger, he's going to be the first one to win off of 4 for a long time. That is a terrific first couple of turns from Jody SCOTT. Oh, a little bit of trouble there at the back for Danny Phillips. He's managed to save it. Ben Trigger's looking up the side of Jody SCOTT. We've got a race out from Jason Garrod's comfortably in 3rd. Up the inside comes Ben Trigger, putting Jody SCOTT under all manner of pressure. We've got a race on. Jody SCOTT blue, Ben Trigger white. Those two are battling out front. Ben Trigger hugging that inside line. He's riding that curb. He's putting Jody SCOTT under pressure. Jody made a tremendous gate off of 4. Got over the top of everybody and has got himself out front, but Ben Trigger is not letting him rest. He's going to push him for the full 4 lap. Jason Garrod, he's comfortable now in 3rd. There is no 4th. Danny Phillips has dropped away. 1 lap to go. Can Ben Trigger put Jody SCOTT under any more pressure? He's riding a tight line. But Jody, really, really nice ride. He's riding really comfortably. He's not doing anything silly. He's comfortable and he's done really well. Excellent Heat 15 win for Jody SCOTT. 2nd place, Ben Trigger. 3rd place for Jason Garrod. So we end with a 4-2 to the home side. And another win for Jody SCOTT. 1 point for Jason Garrod. And Ben Trigger with a good 2nd place. He pushed him really hard there for the duration. But we end today's meeting 55-34. Jody SCOTT unbeaten when he finished a heat today. Only that one race that he didn't finish where he didn't pick up points. So there's your confirmed score from Heat 15. Jody SCOTT with a win. Ben Trigger 2nd. Jason Garrod 3rd. Danny Phillips 4th. Didn't complete the race there. Danny got in a bit of trouble in the end of the 1st lap. Start of the 2nd lap. He pulled off. So it's 4-2 to Oxford. Final score today in this National League, WSRA National League development meeting is Oxford 55, Middlesbrough 34. And the home side will be very, very pleased with that. The away side can take some stuff, some individual performances. They will learn from the experience. They will go again. But a wonderful win for the Real Mini Company Oxford Chargers, powered by SD Timo Car Sales. Scorers on the board. Luke Killeen with a maximum 12 points. Well done to him. Didn't fancy Heat 15. Wayne Hutt failed to score. Could have picked up a point in that one where he fell. Jason Garrod, very solid 12. Good performance from him. Some good heat wins. Not Jacob's best day, but still a 5-point return. Paid 5-point return for him. Jody SCOTT, very impressive after that exclusion. First time out and remained unbeaten. Ashton VALE, standout rider. 11 points from reserve is great return. And 8+2 from Senna SUMMERS. A couple of nice paid points there. He's packing into 3rd place. Oxford scoring throughout the side. Jade MUDGWAY, not his day. Did well in his first ride, was in point scoring positions, but couldn't add to it. Ben Rathbone, points in every heat, 6 points for him. He'll take something away from that. Danny Phillips, apart from that last race, solid, picking up 2nd places throughout. Jamie Halder, again, 4+2, engine room of the side. Could have got a couple more points in there, but a decent return. Ben Trigger, thankfully okay after that spill. 9 points for him from the number 5 position. William Hocaniuk, learning experience for him here. 2 points, 2nd place in that 2nd ride, and Kai Ward 4+2 from his heat. So we end the day 55-34 to the Oxford Chargers. Middlesbrough will go again. Oxford will look to continue this unbeaten run. Thank you very much for joining us. BSM will be back here on Thursday for the next Speedway at the Oxford Stadium. Keep your eyes peeled on the streams, get yourselves to track. Thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the meeting. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. From me, Lee Kilby, goodbye.